You got notified. Woo woo. I am good. How are you? How is everybody? I'm gonna do a quick live, and I'm on episode like 6 of Yellow Jackets, so I'm gonna be the fifth one the seventh one just came out yesterday, so I'll be all caught up tonight. I'm doing the sixth and seventh one tonight, and then I'll be all caught up. I'm gonna go rush the kids to bed. Go to bed. I got YouTubing. Hey, um, decided I'm just doing just doing YouTube tonight. Now, technically, I am banned on my one channel, but I do have other channels I could have went live on. But I'm just doing YouTube tonight because that way I can smoke and not have to worry about it. So, been going through life. I've been lifing it. Anybody else been lifing it? I'm over it. I'm over everything. I'm over being an adult. I just want to be a kid again. Fuck this stuff. I'm done. I'm over it. Yay. Yep, I'm done with life. I've had it. I canceled the subscription. I'm done. It was a nice day today. It was pretty out. It was a little chill in my opinion, but it was pretty. Um, I don't really have a lot. I mean, yesterday I went tanning. Hadn't been tanning in a while, so I went tanning yesterday. Came home and took a nice shower. I'd wanted to shower all day, and I'm like, well, I really don't want to take a shower and then go put tanning lotion on. So I waited until after I tanned, came home, and literally just like I walked in the door and into the shower. I was like, nope, I need to shower. So that's good, Audra. Softball season. Oh, geez. I never had to worry about any of that. So I guess yay for me. I see notifications must have went out to some of you wonderful people. Oh, he's doing good. He's most of the size of his parents now. He's 2/3 the size of his parents. He's eating some, it looks like he's eating some seeds. So he's getting big. I'm hoping that, oh, you got a notification? Nice. I'm hoping that I'm good. I think I'm gonna move them. I think I'm gonna move them this weekend. We'll see. It'll be nice that they're in a bigger cage or whatever, out of my room. You actually got notified? Oh my god, the notifications went out today, which is good because I didn't go live on TikTok. So I was thinking that I was gonna have like 6 people in here, but I appreciate y'all for showing up. I'm like I said, I'm gonna finish up Yellow Jackets, and then next week is I'll actually be caught up for next week, and to watch it live, 3 years worth, and I caught up in like what was it? I just started watching it past like week or 2 weeks probably. So I'm caught up and live as of tonight. Tonight I will finish 6 and 7, and then I will be live with the rest of y'all. I'm also watching Hell's Kitchen. I think I might be on this. I think I might be on the newest season. If not, I'm one season behind. So I feel like I'm catching up. I feel like I'm finally catching up. Yeah. I will say this. I'm very agitated with the last 2 episodes. If you've been watching the series, you know why. What they're doing to Coach is making me upset. I was even gonna message her. That's so funny. Hold on. I was smiling, so it didn't know I was me. So we'll see, but my friend's supposed to be coming over on Monday. We used to do like movies and stuff, and she was busy. So I messaged her, and we're supposed to be doing a movie on Monday. So we'll see. She has a couple doctor's appointments, so I mean, there is a possibility that it may not end up happening this week. But we're supposed to have a movie hangout on Monday, so we'll see. Um, and my poor plant that they gave me when Yoda passed, it's got 3 leaves left. I'm so bad. Um, yeah, so he's actually in bed. He's been in bed since 6:45, 7. 6:45. He's got to get up for 3:30. So that's horrible. So I'm going to stay up the whole time because normally I end up getting tired around 1 or 2 and I'm not laying down for an hour. So he's got to get up for 3:30. They have him picking up a load at 8 o'clock in the morning. The man is not even supposed to be to work till 7. His start time is 7, and they have him picking up 2.5 hours away for 8 o'clock. Like, what are you even doing? What are you even doing? Like, he should not have to get up and go to work 3 hours early. That's insane. I mean, any other person wouldn't have to do that. But that means he'll get home semi decent tomorrow. He says it's a pretty long load because he's got to go up to a place, back, up to the place, and back. He went home really quick today. He went to Greer and he got home about 2 hours earlier than I thought he would. Um, I was on the phone with my friend and I was like, well, I'm watching him on Life 360 and I'm like, I gotta get off, I gotta mop the floor, I gotta make dinner, I gotta get the dogs in the house, and I gotta go pick him up. And I got everything done, pulled into the driveway the same time he was pulling into the driveway. Do not know how I managed to time it the way I did, but I did. So I was pulling in, he pulled in, and then he had to just drop off his papers or whatever, and then we left. But um yeah, so that was good. I got my big mop done today. Floors weren't too bad. Because you maintenance them all the time, but they really weren't in need of a huge mop, but I did it anyway. It's always works better to sweep it first because they bring in this like dusty red dust and just gets on everything, and it's so frustrating. Um, yeah, I don't know how I timed that. That was pretty wild. I got dinner done. I put it in the microwave. That way, when we got home, he could eat immediately and go to bed. And I made the most amazing sloppy joes. I make my own sloppy joe mix. We used to make it ourselves, and then we got lazy and started using like Manwich in the can and whatever. But I'm back to making it on my own, and so much better, so much better. And I mean, it's cheap. It costs less than buying a can of Manwich. So um, we were gonna save some for tomorrow, and then we just sort of like, nope, we're just gonna eat it all. So, um, but yeah, it's a lot better to make it at home. Um, I guess tomorrow we're having just frozen pizzas. I guess I'm figuring maybe he said something about having frozen pizzas tomorrow. We're trying to stock up on groceries because again, and we knew this back in December, but we forgot. When you remember when he shut down for 2 weeks in December, but then like he got to work during part of it, so it really wasn't that big of a disaster. But there was all that rigmarole of me trying to make sure that I had like 3 weeks of stuff saved up, and then he worked for half of it, and it worked out. Well, he came home like 2 days ago, and he's like, "By the way, I'm shut down for 2 weeks in April," and I'm like, "You got to be kidding me! You've got to be kidding me!" So he shut down 2 weeks in April, and I'm scrambling around because I'm not battling again. I'm not battling again. So I'm scrambling. And as of right now, it looks like we're going to be okay or close to okay. I'm going to have to basically skimp on groceries those last 2 weeks a lot, which is why I'm trying to stock up on groceries now because I'm trying to get everything I can get done now. That way I don't have to worry about it then. It looks like as of right now, we may be 100 or 200 short, but I'm trying to figure out how to. I always manage to pull it out of my ass somehow, and that's what I'm going to try to do. But um, I still had some of my tax money left. So all my tax money and my YouTube money from this next month will be going to pay for it, but I have no choice. So I'll pay me back later as usual, but I have no choice. So that's what's got to be done. Um, I didn't get to spend a whole lot of my tax money on myself. Um, I ended up buying him some stuff. Ended up, I bought him his birthday present, which I'm not going to get my birthday present till May now because we're not going to have money. We got to save all of April to get this done for the last 2 weeks of April. So I'm not going to get my birthday present until probably May, which it is what it is. Whatever. And then I got me a small vape mod and some disposables. I spent a little bit on Temu. I got him his birthday gift. And then I bought him a couple starfish and I got some, crabs and stuff for his tank or whatever. So I didn't get to spend a whole lot of it before it went to hell in a handbasket, but I'm pretty used to every time I get my hands on any type of larger amount of money that some catastrophe happens. And then of course, every time you spend money, it never fails. I remember we had bought the dishwasher and a day later we found out about the 2-week shutdown. Literally, we bought the dishwasher and I think it was a 2-week shutdown or something, or it was some catastrophe. Every time I spend any amount of money, something crazy happens to the point I don't even want to spend money anymore because every time I spend a significant amount of money, something crazy happens. And then I had to buy the new tires. I bought the new tires. While I was at the tire store, I called my mechanic and had him order the parts for the fuel pump. The fuel pump should be here, I'm thinking sometime next week, probably. May is a 5-week month. And so the last week of April we'll be really screwed. The first week of May, it's a 5-week month, so our bills are a little bit lower. But that last week of April is really what's going to hit us. We are applying for unemployment. We're playing for unemployment and but it's going to take a week or two to get here. So I got to basically come up with everything and then kind of be reimbursed when the unemployment gets here. So yeah, that's what sucks if you're on disability. It doesn't matter if it's a 4-week or 5-week month, you get the same amount of money, which sucks. I never really thought of it that way. But we are applying for the unemployment. It's just going to take a second to get here, which is frustrating. I don't know how they expect you to do anything because in Kentucky, you have to wait a week. Instead of applying the day that you do it, you have to wait a week. And it's okay, but we need the money now. We have to wait a week and then probably wait another week to get it. Bills are due. So I'm not really understanding why you have to wait. It's stupid. I don't know. So hopefully everything will be cool. I am doing, if anybody wants to do any tarot readings, I'm doing them for $15. Yeah, it's in Kentucky. You have to wait a week. You have to not work and then wait a week and then apply it, and then you have to reapply every 2 weeks. Which that part's easy. We had to do that during COVID. But it's so frustrating. Bills are due, man. If you know you're not going to work, you should be able to do it, that week. And instead, you have to wait a week, and then you have to wait for the money on top of it. So they just expect you to just, go in arrears on your bills, apparently, because, not everybody has, if you have to apply for unemployment, not everybody has 2 weeks to wait for a check to come in. We'll be able to pay mostly everything for the most part. But like I said, if anybody wants a tarot reading, get a hold of me on TikTok or Facebook or whatever. I'm doing them for like $15. I'm trying to at least try to get up some extra money because as it stands right now, it looks like we're about 100, 200 short. And that's with spending absolutely nothing extra off of our bills for the next 4 weeks. Like if anything comes up, we have no money. So I'm trying to get up the best I can and do what I have to do. So if anybody wants a tarot reading, let me know. I'm trying not to do the whole, hey, can everybody cash at me and help me out type deal. I'm trying to do the whole, hey, let me read for you type thing, you know. But it's looking like we might be okay. So I have Cash App and Venmo. He's not laid off. What's happening is they are retooling the damn place again. They retooled it during break or during December because it was already screwed up from the hurricane anyway, and people were not coming in a whole lot. So since it was downtime, they retooled in December, and they usually retool in July. But something's going on again, and they're retooling again, so they're shutting down the plant for 2 weeks. And so there's opportunities to volunteer for those 2 weeks. But if you only get $300, we could do better, you know, getting the unemployment because that's not going to pay the bills either. So where's my Cash App? It's Ryan Lee TM. My Venmo and my Cash App are just Ryan Lee TM. They're this. So let me know. Let me know if you want any type of tarot reading. I can do that for you. That's basically the only thing that I have that I can do for anybody. I don't draw. I don't crochet. I don't, you know, the only thing I can do really is tarot reading. So if that's something you're into or know somebody who's into it, pass me along. Just trying to do the best I can for right now. His mom did say that she might be able to help us a little bit if we get into a complete pickle. I'm trying not to have to go that route. It's looking like I may have to. Because we were good. Or we were going to be good. We were going to be okay. We were going to be okay. And then I forgot that if he's not working, they don't take out the bankruptcy payment, which means we have to pay the bankruptcy payment up front. So that was another $200 that I had to come up with that I completely forgot about until today, that there's nowhere for them to take out. So I have to come up with it manually. So like we were good. That's why I'm like $200 shitty right now. That's why I'm like 200. Cause like I said, like I'm like running 200. It's because of that. Like I had it figured out to like, we were going to be cool and then forgot that was going to happen. So I'm trying to do anything I can, essentially. Like I said, his mom said that she might be able to help us a little bit, but I'd really rather not have to do that. Or if I do, as little as possible. So I don't want to battle. I don't want to battle anymore. I haven't battled since December. And so the only thing I got left is tarot reading. So yeah, it's he's actually a truck driver. He's a truck driver. So he hauls mostly BMW parts. And so BMW is doing, you know, their fixing of the lot. BMW is doing the fixing of the machines and stuff. And so when that happens, there's really no loads to be had. There is going to be some type of loads, but because there's going to be, you know, X amount of drivers, they're going to have to like divvy them up. And I mean, there's a possibility he could work 3 days. There's a possibility he could work 1 day. And that's not going to work. I mean, that's not going to pay a bill working 1 day, especially after they take out your health care, the bankruptcy payment, whatever. We wouldn't even get a paycheck. So they said it was smarter to go on unemployment, but we have to wait for the unemployment to backtrack. So that sucks. But I mean, other than that, I think it'll be all right. She's good. She's somewhere. She's right here. She's on the floor. I don't know what it is, man. She's deciding that she's just not going to lay in beds anymore. Pepper and Sissy are both on the floor. So sometimes I wish that he could just go regional. It's not an option right now. Regional pays a little bit more, but you're usually gone overnight and then come home and then overnight and go home and whatever, which would be not ideal, but I could do it. I mean, I used to, back in the day, he used to be gone for a week at a time or 6 days. He'd be gone 6 days and be home a day, gone 6 days, home a day. That's what it was at when we moved to Kentucky. He had got put on a run where he would go from Detroit to the Mexican border and back, and we were getting ready to adopt Ember. And I'm like, I cannot be essentially a solo parent. So we moved where he would be able to be home every night. And I feel like we took a little bit of, we did actually, that first year especially, we took a pretty big pay cut. We moved down here, and that was annoying enough, cost wise. And then we ended up making like 15 grand less that year. And then the next year was COVID. So then we got screwed on COVID. And then we ended up having to declare bankruptcy again between the two things and the stupid truck. So we kind of got screwed. Luckily, the bankruptcy is finally over in 6 months. 7 months. It's over in 7 months. So we're counting down. It's been 5 years. I've paid back 18,000 and some. Yeah, we didn't get to do the nice chapter 7 walk away. We did the chapter 13. You're fucked and you're going to pay for it. I don't suggest anybody ever does that, but I've paid almost $20,000 back, and it's finally done in 7 months, and I cannot wait. Cannot wait. How's the alien and food bowl parties? What? The bird sitting in the food bowl? He was sitting in the food bowl again today. He likes the food bowl. He's eating some. It looks like he's eating some regular seeds as of yesterday, but then today it looked like he was also being fed crop milk. So I don't know if he's getting like a mixture or what's exactly happening. Yeah, I mean, he's wanting to jump right into getting a different car, and I'm like, not in this fucking economy, we ain't. Like, with the tariffs and everything, every car is going to be, ridiculously through the roof. Yeah, they were in the food bowl again today. I just put up a video again today on here. He thinks it's cool to sit in the food bowl because his mom does it. So, he's getting big, though. He's getting big. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to fix the car we have right now. Me and the car had a pep talk the other day. I'm like, so I got you an oil change. I got you new tires. You just got a new wheel bearing, new brakes, new rotors. I'm getting you a new fuel pump. Like, can you just be a good, just continue on what you're doing. I'm sorry that your front face is busted, but I can't really fix that right now, especially because the next thing on my list is shocks. I'm like, I'm just going to keep getting you pretty. I said, I know that he keeps talking about new cars when we're going drives. I said, just ignore him. You're a good car. Just keep being a good car. Talking up the car. I'm not even kidding. Had the whole conversation sitting in a parking lot out loud to my car. Look, at this point, I will do anything. Just please function. Just please function. I'm mentally I'm just hammered mentally, just for real. Like, it's just one thing after another. Every time that my taxes took forever to get here. I finally got them. I knew something was going to happen where I ended up having to give them all up. I knew it. And sure as shit, I found out that I had to give up the rest of my tax money. Now, I'll get paid back eventually, but that's eventually. So, I'm out yet again. Yet again. It's so frustrating. I'm like, basically, I'm giving up everything that I have right now, plus my YouTube that's coming out in a month. So I'm going to have like zero money until May. Like, he can't even pay me back what he owes me for the month of April because we have to put it towards our bills. So I will have like literally not a dollar to my name until like sometime in May. And it's March. And I won't have like a dollar in my name. And it's like, I've never been that broke. I got to the point after with my taxes, I was like, oh, I have this amount left. I don't want to go through it. I'm going to hold on to it. And I guess good thing I did, because now this happened. So, and I had just made a really big purchase the day before. Not even kidding. Yet again. I told you guys, every time that something like I said, we bought the dishwasher and we found out he was going to be off work, or it was the wheel. I don't even remember what it was, but we literally bought I think that's what it was we found out he was going to be off work. We bought the dishwasher, and like the next day we found out that it was going to go to hell in a handbasket. And I made a big purchase the day before, and I got talked into making a big purchase the day before, and or maybe 2 days, might have been 2 days. And then this happened, and I'm like, well, I should have known when I spent the money. I should have never spent the money. And I would have been able to be all right for this. I would have had enough money to cover it and not have to worry. And now I have to worry because, I mean, nobody can tell the future, and it sucks because you think, I tried to treat myself to a couple of things, and then as soon as I did, we get news. And I feel like that's what always happens. I swear to God, every fucking time we go to spend money, some stupid shitty thing happens. And then I feel like a jackass because then you have some jackhole that I'm sure is watching this currently. It's like, oh, there she goes again crying about money. Dude, trust me. Do you think that this is where I want to be in life right now? Like, for real? Or the fact that I have to feel bad that I dared spend money on myself? Do you have any idea how frustrating it is to know that if you're vulnerable and tell somebody, like, you know what, life sucks. I can't believe this happened. And then it's, well, you shouldn't have spent money. Oh, yeah, because I knew it was going to happen 2 days later. So, yeah, I'm so tired of making big purchases because every time I spend, over a couple $100, some big stupid thing happens. And then it's like, well, and it always happens that it's something I can't take back. Like, we put in the dishwasher, we installed the dishwasher. There was going to be a restocking fee if we took it back. Like, not to mention we'd have to disconnect the whole thing, and we played hell connecting it. And it's like, it's always something you can't take back. And so now you feel like shit because you spent the money. You can't do anything about it because you can't take it back. And now you're out the money. And now you have a big fucking emergency and you don't have the money for it. And it's like, I don't even, at this point, every time I get money, I don't even want to spend it anymore. I'm too worried of what's going to happen if I do. You know what I mean? Yeah, you never know when life is going to throw you a freaking curveball. And unfortunately, it's always a day or two after I spend money. I appreciate that, Matt. Anybody who wants to get one, I appreciate it. I'm trying to at least do something. It's frustrating. And then, it sucks because then you have people bashing you because you don't have a real job because, you're, disabled. And it's frustrating because all I want to do is be able to help when we get in a situation like this. And it's frustrating for me because there's nothing I can do. And it makes me feel 10,000 times worse. I'm going to be giving up all my YouTube money for this. So I am helping. I'm giving up all of my tax money. So I am helping. But if I was able to get a job, we wouldn't be in this situation. And it sucks. And I freaking hate it. And I hate feeling this way. I hate when people try to throw it in my face because I already feel that way to begin with. And it's like, I don't need your help. I already feel like shit. Okay. Well, I can't do what I want with my money, Audra, because every time I do, something crazy happens. That's just the way it is. It seems like that's why I don't even want to spend my money anymore. Because every time I do, something horrible happens, and then I'm like, but then at the same time, like, should it be on me to have to keep having to bail us out? Like, you know, he got his tax money and it was gone. You know, he bought the saltwater fish tank and his money was gone, and I even had to loan him some. So that was another part of my tax money. Because I had to, well, actually the house did. I ended up helping him a little bit with it. But, you know, he got his and bought his and the money's gone. Whereas I had mine and I sat on, you know, about a little under half of it. And now I'm out it anyway. I didn't even really get to enjoy it. It just sucks, you know? Exactly, social. Like, you know, it's so frustrating because you'll see people in the comments of people's videos and they're like, I'm disabled and I work. There's disabled and then there's legally disabled. It's not the same thing. You can have a disability and be able to work. If you are disabled, it means you can't work. You can have a disability and work. Lots of people have disabilities and work. But being disabled is different. You have stipulations on what you can do, even if you do work. You're only allowed to work X amount of hours. You're only allowed to work X amount of pay. You're only allowed that you if you get to the point where you go above the hours, above the pay, you are no longer considered disabled because you can work. So it's like, I don't think people understand, you know, disability comes with guidelines and stuff. And I could never work 40 hours to begin with. I can barely hack 20 hours, which I keep trying to do and keep failing miserably. So, yeah, I mean, for sure. If, you know, if you've applied for disability and you can't get disability, and I'm on it because I was able to get on it, there's a reason I was able to get on it. There's a reason I've been on it for 25 years. Because I have issues, multiple issues, that I have been on this for 25 years. And considering they can reevaluate you every 3 to 7 years and I'm still on it, should tell you something. Yeah, you know, I figured when we started making more money, we'd be good too. But I feel like the more money you make, the more bills you have. Like, we are down to like our staples of bills, and it's ridiculous. You know, like we make more than we ever have, and we are still drowning. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think people realize how hard it is to get approved. Most people have to get a lawyer. Most people have to get a lawyer because you'll get denied the first time or even the second time. My uncle was denied 3 times and he had throat cancer for years and he had to get a lawyer in order to get his. And then you have to pay X amount of back pay, or what not. Some of your back pay goes towards your lawyer. I was pushed through in 3 months. I got on it in 3 months. So I don't know what to tell you, but I'm second generation of, my dad was on it as well. And I'm second generation with this. And so I got pushed through in 3 months at 19 years old. And it's frustrating when people think they know your life better than you know your life, or know your situation better than you know your situation. I've done this since I've been on it. I've tried to do this and that and whatever, and it always fails absolutely miserably. I keep doing it because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. And regardless, I keep doing it. I keep trying and I keep failing miserably. I mean, I literally can time when it's going to happen. And I did my last stint last year. Same shit happened as always. Just like the year or the year before it. I can't remember which year I worked there. 23, 22. I think I worked there in 22 and there in 24. And both times the same thing happened. I got too much shit wrong with me and it all perfect storms. And then I freak out and I can't do it because it gets to be too much. The physical, the mental, the everything. It all, especially when I was under freaking weightlifting restrictions where I had to have basically everybody at my job do pretty much everything physical for me, which was awful. They were so agitated with me, because I could not lift, like even when I was at Papa John's, I couldn't lift the cheese container. So I was on cheese constantly and I'd have to have somebody go get the cheese container, which drove people insane. And understandably, I'm working a station where I have to ask the guy next to me to go get this container and stop what they're doing. And it's frustrating. And that was just from an injury. But, as time and stuff goes by, it doesn't get any easier. It's actually probably getting harder. And I keep trying to do this and it never works because the disability gets in the way. It took you 5 months to get it? No, even back when I got on it was taking a year or two. Since I've been on it, I see a lot more people needing lawyers. Quite a few people I know have needed lawyers. But even back when I was on it, there was supposed to be a 2-year wait. They even told me that there would probably be a year or two wait. And I got pushed through in 3 months. But like I said, I think it has a lot to do with the fact I was second generation. It proved it right there because my dad was on it for the same thing that I'm on it for. And so it showed the hereditary. It showed the hereditary stuff from it. And it sucks. I hate it, It makes you feel really pointless, honestly. Because you want to be able to help, you want to be able to live a normal life, you want to be able to have human interaction. Like, I tried to point this out to my husband once, and I was like, I don't have any human interaction. He's like, I don't have any friends. No, but you go to work, you see people, you talk to people. Hey, how you doing? How's your day been? What's the weather like? I sit at home with literally no human interaction. And then like days like today, he came home, ate, and went to bed. Like my human interaction is like none. I have like none. Yeah, well, there's a lot more accommodations. There's a lot of things that you can't accommodate for. Oh, you mean like you used to begin with? Like you used to do? I don't know. Like for me, I always felt the need to disclose because I wanted them to know what they were getting into, I guess, essentially. Is I've always been very forthcoming with my limitations and what I know I can do and what I know I can't do. And oh yeah, truth hurts. I've always, been very upfront of, look, this is who I am, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do. And I want you to know that ahead of time so that you know if you're going to be able to work with me. I mean, I didn't ever want to blindside anybody. So I've always been very forthcoming about the limitations I have because I wouldn't want to be working and then, be like, oh, by the way, I can't do A, B, C, and D. I've always been lucky. It's not really ever stopped me from getting a job. A lot of times, well, usually if I interview for a job, I would get it. I haven't really had a whole lot of jobs where I've interviewed and not gotten them, but I just feel like being fully transparent is the way to go. I mean, that's just me. I mean, I know there's some people that don't disclose or don't they might say that they're, on disability, but they won't say why or whatever. I think the last time that I worked, and I can't quite remember, but I want to say that I told them I was on it, but didn't say why. But then also had to tell them on top of that I had the physical limitations from the different injuries and whatnot. So, yeah, work from home job. Even then, even then, a lot of those jobs wouldn't work for my particular situation, unfortunately. I wish that things were different. When I grew up and I was in all these, you know, um, I guess for lack of a better word, honors classes and things like that, and getting extreme test scores and having a high IQ and being put in smart things and being top of my class and whatever. I thought that would mean something later on. Um, I thought that would mean that I was going to do big things and be important in the fact that I'd be able to, be self sufficient. And, at 19 years old, found out that was not going to be a reality. And it's very frustrating and limiting and very self depreciating. And it sucks. I mean, most people, most genuinely, most disabled people are not happy with their situation. Most of us would definitely like to work. I would like to not sit at home all day. I would like to be able to contribute. I would like to have human interaction. I would like to have a sense of normalcy. And I think that's why I keep attempting to work, is because I want those things and I'm just not, it's not feasible. And, if I ever get put in a situation where I have to, I have a feeling that there's probably going to be a lot of job hopping, because as soon as I realize that a job isn't going to work, I start in meltdown mode. And then from there, it's just complete self-sabotage. I was going, one time I looked into doing like the, not that it pays. I don't think it even pays, but I looked like into like suicide hotlines and stuff. But there's a lot of qualifications you have to have for that, believe it or not. I looked into it, and there's a lot of stuff you have to do and have and whatnot. And I mean, that's good though. That's good. But also, kind of difficult to attain. And then they don't even necessarily always end up using you anyways. So, yeah, see, a lot of things you have to be like certified for or have, this particular thing or qualification. And because I really thought about, doing like a suicide hotline or like, a crisis hotline or whatnot. um I'm sure there's places to volunteer here so that I could have human interaction. But I just don't know where they would be. I used to volunteer at a nursing home for a while, um, when I was younger, probably in my late teens. I think I volunteered at a nursing home for a while. Mental health first aid certification. What even is that? How is mental health first aid? I'm so confused. I don't really think I'd want to volunteer at an animal shelter. I would want to bring them all home. We already know I have issues with that. I don't think a animal, and not only that, but knowing that go in and you get attached to like a little dog, and then you find out that they euthanized it for space. I would probably go catatonic. Yeah, I would probably go catatonic. Yeah, I would want to bring all these animals home, and I've got to stop doing that. I've got to stop doing that. I have absolutely no self-control, no self-restraint. I am always bringing home another animal, and it's so annoying because then people get on you and they're like, you have all these money problems. Why do you keep getting animals? I don't know. Why don't we just put it this way? Just yell at me for having a shoe addiction. It's about the same thing. Just be like, why do you have to buy so many pairs of shoes? I don't know. I collect them. I don't know what to tell you. I only have like 2 pairs of shoes, by the way. But I guess, if you want to, there's people who have a Starbucks addiction or a gambling addiction, or I had a bingo addiction for a while. That was awful. It was so expensive. There's all these different addictions, and unfortunately mine are taking on animals that I shouldn't, essentially. I'm frustrated with myself. I don't know how to say no. I wish I did. I just always feel bad. I always feel bad, and then I take on another fucking mouth to feed, and then some fucking money issue happens, and then you have some asshole that's like, why do you have all these animals? Do you ask that of people who have kids? People who fall on hard times, lose their job. Why do you have all these kids? You can't afford them. Well, I could at one point. I could before the issue. I can during the issue. I mean, what do you do? Every time something happens, you just get rid of your kids. Every time something happens, you get rid of all your animals. Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that way of thinking. Pepper. I don't understand that way of thinking. Oh God, you went to Dog Anonymous. Yeah, you had to go to therapy to be like, I can't have any more dogs, dude. I feel like I'm about there. Does it work? Does it work to go to therapy and be like, I can't take on any more animals? I've been saying I'm not going to take on any more animals for the past year, and it just doesn't work. Yes, I've heard of Resilient Jenkins. How they have, what is it, 7 people in a 1-bedroom apartment, and now they don't even have that. Now they're living in a hotel. Yeah, I've heard of them. Like, how much is it total? I owe $20,000. I had to pay back $20,000, and I've paid 18. I can't remember what was on the slip last time they sent it to me. I've paid 18, close to 18.5. I got sidetracked. You sent me a link on TikTok to a mental health first aid. Okay. I'll look into that. I need mental health. I quit therapy. And what's frustrating is like I would go in to get my husband's meds, and I would go in to get my husband's meds, and it never failed. Whenever I went in to get his meds, my therapist would always be getting out of her last client. Like, it doesn't matter what time I would go in or what day. She would always be walking down the halls, and then she'd come out and she'd be like, "So, are you going to come to therapy?" And every time it's the same thing. "Yeah, I'm going to make an appointment." And then I start crying, and then I don't make the appointment. I don't remember the last time I was in therapy. Because every time I get there, I'm like, I don't know what to do. She's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I just start bitching about stuff, which is not helpful. It's not doing anything. I can bitch to my friends. No, my therapist is good. But the problem is, and I guess this is why I feel bad, is I'm actually in trauma-based therapy, which is supposed to be like the deep therapy, to like fix things, um, at a deeper level. And I always go in bitching about the surface level shit. I feel like I'm wasting her time, essentially. Because, like, originally I was in there for trauma therapy. We tried the EDMR. I had 2 good sessions, and then one went to hell in a handbasket, and I stopped doing EDMR. And, like, I realize a lot of the problems I probably have deep-seated trauma, but I want quick fixes to, like, right now. And so I feel bad that I'm taking a trauma therapy away from somebody else, I guess. I don't know. You got to do dual level therapy. You have to deal with the depression before you can tackle the trauma. Otherwise, it keeps coming back. Yeah, I'd be in therapy 5 times a week. My depression is unreal, and I don't take any medication for it. I can't afford the medication. Because I do not respond well to a lot of, damn it. I do not respond well to most mental health medications. And there's only a small handful of antidepressants that work. And the last one I found that worked, I couldn't afford it. They had me on one that worked really well. They were giving me samples because it was $1,200 a month. So they were giving me samples, and then they ran out of samples. Actually, no, I had to transfer facilities, and that facility did not have that particular sample. So I had to get off that one because I couldn't afford $1,200 a month. And then they gave me a different one, and I had to pick between my ADHD meds and my depression meds. And I chose the ADHD meds, and then I bought 2 bottles in 6 months, and I stopped taking it for the most part. I only take it when I really super can't focus. I try to just keep it sporadically for emergencies. And then, I already owe so much money to my pharmacy as it is that I don't want to go stupid deep into any more debt than I already am, because I'm already in the quadruple digits at this point. I need to do a PGX. The one insurance covers isn't the greatest. When you get some extra money, I would do that one to pay out of pocket. My pharmacy gives me really good prices on stuff. They do. Yeah, I can't afford a treatment of $18,000. I can't afford therapy. I can't afford therapy for $50 a session. My therapist, believe it or not, do not ask me how or why, not getting into it. She was seeing me for free. Basically out of the goodness of her heart. And I still don't go. So what does that tell you? But no, I'm not meaning to be mean. This is going to come out really horrible. So just don't take it offensively to you as a person. It's super privileged that people are able to really in-depth help their mental illness through either having a lot of money or living off the state. When you have to pay for your own shit, it's not feasible. No, I make too much for Medicaid. I make way too much for Medicaid. Matter of fact, I had Medicaid and Medicare before I got married. The minute I got married, I lost my Medicaid because we made over the Medicaid amount. Mental health does need to be free for everybody. I agree. Mental health is important. Yeah. Collections, eventually they can garnish your paycheck and yada yada yada. He got in a motorcycle accident a few years back, and the insurance company was fucked up. What they did to us was fucked up. And it got sent to a collections, and they want me to pay all this money, and I'm like, you can have $25 a month. That's all I can pay you. Like, it's going to take me 5 years to pay it off. I don't care. That's what you're getting. You can't bleed a fucking turnip. So, I pay him $25 a month. Honestly, my whole life, I dealt with my depression by either drawing on myself 3 times a day, edited for YouTube content, or not eating. And I'm trying to stay away from both of those avenues. So that's how I dealt with it for 15 years, was just to absolutely destroy my body. Well, I mean, Canada does it. If Canada can find a way to pay providers, and Denmark and Norway and everybody else can find a way to pay for providers with free healthcare in their countries, the US could figure it out. The problem is capitalism runs America, and it's about who can get paid the most amount of money. I have a huge issue with that. I mean, universal health care is in 90% of the world, except for this third world country. And if they can find a way to pay their providers, then we could, and we just don't. Obviously, people need to be paid for their time, effort, and energy. I'm not saying that in any way, shape, or form. But if every other country can do it, so can we. And, there and other things, like, for instance, our one life insurance is going to end in like 3 years. So I was shopping around for new life insurance. And I called one of them, and I told them what my husband was on, and they were like, we can't insure him. And I'm like, why? And they're like, well, that diagnostic has a high, unaliving rate. And that particular pill, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, he takes that pill so that doesn't happen, etc., or whatever. Or, like, I don't know what you're getting at, but he takes that pill so he is okay. And they're like, yeah, but what if he stops taking it? Then put a clause in your life insurance, like most people do, of if you do something to yourself, it doesn't pay out. There's a lot of life insurances that do that, so I'm not really sure what your issue is. Yeah, I feel like mental health is such an overlooked problem in America. And then you have this dipshit that just got elected who, he did heroin his whole life, and now he wants to put people who have ADHD in work camps because obviously he understands mental health so well. Yes, there's barriers to care. You guys are both saying the same thing, just so you know. But, I understand I understand your point, Social, about, providers getting paid. But like I said, if every other country can figure it out, we should be able to. Well, we have life insurance through his company. and we have life insurance of our own, but we're going to have to find new. And the guy just messaged me. He was like, okay, well, I found some. And I was like, yeah, but what about this pill? He's like, well, it's not on our, not this company. It's not on our can't insure list. And I'm like, all right. I was like, well, I'd like to look into that. I can't look into anything for another 2 to 3 years, but whatever. I told him, like, let's look into it. And he's like, okay, well, you should get full. I'm like, yeah, I should get full. I can't afford full. I was like, I'm going to need to get term. And they're like, well, term runs out in 20 years and then it's going to be really expensive. Yeah, I know. I get that. I'm just living in 20-year chunks. I don't know what to tell you. I can't afford full insurance. The U.S. is not better than other countries. Me and you are going to have to definitely disagree on that. Definitely disagree. I think the U.S. is garbage with mental health care. When 90% of the pills that they want to put you on, you can't afford, how is that accessible? It's not accessible. Unless you are on Medicaid or rich, you're screwed. When you're on Medicaid, you get all your stuff handed to you. When you are rich, you don't care about the money you are spending. If you're an average run-of-the-mill person on insurance, you are screwed. That is not accessible healthcare. That is not good healthcare. That is not anything. You can't tell somebody, oh, here's a pill that'll fix you. Sorry, you can't afford it. That makes it 10,000 times worse, to be honest, to know that there's something that can help me that I don't have access to. I feel like that's a huge problem. You can't dangle a carrot in front of somebody who's already barely hanging on and then be like, and by the way, sorry, you can't afford it. Like my husband was on a particular medication they were giving him samples of, except we were having a hard time getting a hold of him sometimes. And the copay was $1,800. $1,800 a month. That is not realistic in any way, shape, or form. I don't know any working class, middle class person that has $1,800 per month to pay on medications. That's what? Almost $20,000 a year. That's like $20,000 a year for one medication. That's insanity. And when people are making, on average in Kentucky, we're making almost twice the average in Kentucky. Kentucky people in my area make about $37,000 a year. And we're making like double that. And there's no way I could afford that type of pill, that type of medication. There's no way. And I know for a fact nobody else around here could, because unfortunately when you have $30,000, you're above Medicaid. You're above Medicaid, but you're still poor as shit. Luckily, the medications I'm on right now are not bad. They're not bad. I found ones that are not bad. The worst one I would get would be my antidepressant med, which right now, most of my depression that is eating at me is situational, and you can't medicate situational depression. Your situation is what makes it that way. And mine is situational. I mean, I have normal depression, don't get me wrong, and I'm sure medication would make it better. But most of the stuff that's bothering me on a day-to-day basis is situational. And the only thing that's going to change that is to not be in the situations. See, my Medicare, I don't have a Part D. Like I have a Part D, but I don't have a supplement. They make you have a Part D. I have a Part D, and basically because Medicare prescription is garbage, I get the 0 a month plan. I get the free plan. So my deductible's like $500 a year. I ain't paying that. I get all my stuff cash price at my pharmacy. I don't run almost anything through my insurance. I mean, if it's cheaper, they run it through my insurance. And if it's better at cash price, I pay cash price. Yeah. Well, you probably pay per month for yours. Because if you pay per month, your deductible is cheaper. Like I used to have one where I paid like $30 a month and my deductible was lower, but I didn't want to pay the $30 a month and have to pay for my pills. So I just get the $0 a month one and then pay for my pills. Well, my my hospital and my doctors, that's 100, and then the prescription is more on top of it. Um and I just get the zero plan. I don't pay for mine. I have one. I can use it. I don't almost like I said, 50% of the time I don't even use my insurance. Perfect example, my ADHD meds. My copay on my insurance for my ADHD meds are $140 a month. To get it cash price in my pharmacy is 30 to 40. So with my insurance, it's $100 more a month than what they charge me for cash price with insurance. Shut up. Don't. Do not. You all have attitude problems. Knock it off. In my mind, there is no reason ever your insurance should be 3 times the price of a cash price. Sissy's being cranky. Sissy noodles. She went on a car ride today. I was cleaning the puppy pads and I didn't get them done in time. And I was like, I have 2 puppy pads in my room. They look like rugs. They're my little mushroom rugs. And I had one down, but like I was nervous. So I just brought her with me until I could get the second one dried. If you've never had a reusable puppy pad, get them. It saves you on so much money. And they're harder for dogs to drag around or eat. Sissy is perfect, but she's also cranky butt. Sissy, are you a cranky butt? You're a cranky butt. She's cranky. Butter biscuit. Butter biscuit. Come here, butter biscuit. Hi, buddy. Hi. You laying with Sissy. Yeah. And she was being cranky. I know she's being cranky. I know you can't lay with dad today because dad needs sleep. And while you are not really an issue, your brother likes to lay in the middle of the bed and kick your dad off. Bronxy likes to lay like smack in the middle of the bed. Yeah, butter biscuit. Oh, there's Bronxy. He's like, yeah, that's me. Bronxy B. Well, aren't you just being docile and sweet today? Yeah, he's a cutie. He's a good boy. He is just gentle. He's so gentle. Like when he's like trying to paw at you to pick him up, he's so gentle. Pepper, she's eaten. She's been up my butt today. She's been up my butt. He's a butters. Him's a butters. Where's he going? Where's the butter biscuit going? Pepper's over there eating. Oh, she just quit. Peppy. Peppy Rooney. You're being requested. Yeah. Wow. She's been being up my butt today. She is. She's very sweet. She's a sweet pepperoni. She's the pepperoniest. She's chilling out in her old age of 2 years old. She's chilling out. She's not as crazy puppy as she used to be. Damn, I'm adorable. You just rubbed your snotty nose all over my face. You know that? You just rubbed it all over my face. And you don't even care. You don't even care. You just want your pets. She's getting snugglier and snugglier every day. Need your pet first. Sissy. I'll grab Sissy in a second. The what? Here you go. Oh, Jesus. Bronxy, you want any screen time? Come here, buddy. Where, Bronxy? Want some screen time? Come here. Come here. It's the Bronxy. The Bronxy butt. Eat a Bronxy butt. My smiley Bronxy boy. He's smiley. He's smiley. He's smiling. He's smiley. You done? Are you done with your camera time? Oh, he's a Bronxy boy. Sissy. Come here, baby. You're being requested, Miss Ma'am. Yeah, I was snoozing. This is so rude. This is so rude. I was snoozing. And now I'm not. No. I think Pepper's the cutest, personally. Peppy's pretty cute. Sissy, you got a face only mama could love. That's rude. That's rude. Yeah, she always has a look. She's got a resting bitch face. Did you not notice that? Oi! Oi! Drop it. She got a resting bitch face. Yeah, Peppy's hair is just too cute. Nobody beats Snuggles. She gives the best snuggles. She gives the best snuggles. Pepper gives the second best snuggles. Oh, I love you so much. And she snorts in my ear. Sissy. Love you. We gonna watch TV tonight. We're gonna snuggle in the chair and watch some TV, catch up on Yellow Jackets. She's my good TV watching buddy. We sit in the chair and we snuggle and watch TV because she has to touch mommy at all given times. I love the noodles. I love the noodles. Squeeze her little head flies off. She's so cute. She's just snorting away. Would you like to lay back down? I know I grabbed you out of your nap. Would you like to lay down? Oi! You want to give Pepper a mohawk? She's had mohawks. Her hair is something else. Now, mind you, I filled that bowl of water before I got on this live. That big bowl of water that's in here. Big bowl of water. This deep. This deep, this wide. Big bowl of water. It's got a quarter of it left. Y'all drink too much water. You know that? You guys are water hogs. Yeah, Pepper, she's got some hair, man. But Bronxy, get out of her butt. So Kira now is she is on a lead. She took off on me. I don't know how she did it. I have no idea how she did it. But she somehow got out. We still can't figure out how. We walked the entire fence. I have no idea how she did it. We cannot figure it out for the life of us. She took me on a fucking wild goose chase. I ended up hurting myself chasing after her. And I got her home. And so now when she goes outside, I had to buy her a lead and a spike. And no, they just like water. What they do is they don't drink most of the day. No, they don't drink most of the day. And then they decide that they're going to drink nonstop at night. They don't want to drink during the day. And they just want to drink at night. I have no idea. The water does not barely get touched during the day, and for some reason they just want to drink at night. And it's like, whoa, what are you doing? Not only that, but I doubt all 4 dogs are diabetic. They love to drink water at night. They're just weird. They're just weird little buttheads. No, maybe they're just busy. A lot of times, you know how people pick up water before they go to bed? You know, a lot of people before they go to bed, they don't want a lot of mess in the house, so they'll pick up the water before they go to bed. A lot of times I'll pick up the water before I go to bed, so they don't drink a whole lot during the day, obviously. Hey! No. So obviously they can't drink during that time. Other than that, the water gets left down. But a lot of people will pick it up when they go to bed. And not always, but sometimes I'll pick it up before I go to bed. Or I'll leave a smaller amount down than their auto waterer. I will make sure that it's not releasing as much as it normally does, type deal. Yeah. Oh yeah. I had a diabetic cat. I had to give it insulin shots. Yep, I had a diabetic cat. Definitely a thing. Definitely a real thing. Hey, leave her alone. I am decent. I am okay. I don't know if I'm decent, but I'm okay. Yeah. Yeah, if it was one dog and the one dog was drinking all the time, I would be concerned. But it's all 4 of them and it's at night. My dogs are kind of like how like I am with snacks at night. They just want to, I don't know if they're bored, I don't know what it is, but they just want to drink a shit ton of water when I'm in here. And the kicker is like if I'm sitting out there watching TV, they don't do it. When I'm in here, they want to drink a bunch of water. When I'm out there and I'm watching TV or whatever, they'll lay with me, they'll lay up in the chair. They don't care. They ain't even about it. But for some reason, when I'm in here, they're like, we need water. Nonstop continual water. We're just gonna sit and drown in the water bowl. I do not care if my name's being brought up on Toddy's. She can go fuck herself. She can go, yeah. She's lost her mind. Well, considering she's went after me and I don't even know who this bitch is, have fun. I've had one live where I rebutted what she said about me, so she can fuck herself. I wish I had indispensable funds to just do stupid frivolous lawsuits. That'd be amazing. Are you the one I think you are? Yeah, she just goes around trying to strong arm everybody while talking shit about everybody. That's the kicker. She's allowed to do whatever the hell she wants. She's allowed to say all sorts of things about people, but the second somebody does a rebuttal or the second somebody says something in her direction, she can't handle it. It's ridiculous. She wants to talk all sorts of shit about people. She wants to question my mental health, question where I work, tell me I'm a fucking piece of shit human being, but I'm the bad guy. Okay. What? Because I called her out on a video that she made? She has zero problem calling me out on everything I do. I don't even know this bitch. No fucking clue, nor do I care. She just seems like she wants drama to have drama, in my opinion. I feel like that's what she bases all of her content on, is how many people she can beef with. So she can, whatever. That's all she does is talk about people. Everybody. She talks about fucking everybody. She talks about Fancy, Bree, me, whoever, anybody who does not agree with her. She talks about upright, downside, left. But if you have any type of rebuttal, I'm going to sue you. Shut the fuck up. You're good, baby. Yeah, I don't know what profession somebody's trying to say they are. I have no idea. I don't care about what people do in their day job. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about what people do. I don't care what army they served in or what they didn't serve in. I don't care where they work. I don't care about any of that. Whatever. You are what you are. Oi! No, I'm not gonna get riled up. It ain't worth it. How's the huge fish tank? Well, there's that one. There's the one with the Oscars. And then, and then there's the saltwater tank. Oh, I agree, social. I agree. People are ridiculous. And they need lives and they need hobbies and they need to stop talking about me. I personally couldn't care less about any of these fucking creators. And the only time I've ever said shit about anybody is when they've started with me. The first time I ever said Toddy's name is because she ran up in my fucking YouTube comments running her fucking trap. The second time I said anything about Toddy was after she put out a fucking video asking about my fucking where I worked and what mental diagnostics I have, which are none of her fucking business on either stretch of the imagination. So you might want to, keep that in check. Because I can show that the live that I talked about was after what she said about me. I can show that the live where I talked about the YouTube was after she commented on my YouTube. Because I showed both of those things. So have fun with that. No, none of them do. That's the kicker. None of them have any credentials to talk about my diagnostics. None of them. They ain't my doctor. They don't know what the fuck I have or what I do or whatever. They have no fucking clue. They have never seen my medical chart to know what I have or how it affects me. I'm still waiting for that investigation with the emails, personally. The one that she was going to nail Fancy to the wall with, and then she somehow included me, even though I wasn't around when the emails were there. Like, I came in, I found out about that email a year ago, and I put it out because all the other emails are out anyways. And people deserve to know what it is they're backing and not just follow blindly like sheep. Oi! Oi! I think the biggest thing she could do is stay in her own fucking lane and worry about her own content and stop bringing up everybody for clicks and views. And stop antagonizing other creators so that when they clap back, she cries like a bitch. Because everything I've ever said was in rebuttal to what she said. So maybe don't talk about me and you wouldn't have to worry about what I say in back. No, I'm not blindsided by nothing. I don't watch your content. I don't care. I don't watch your content. The one clip somebody sent to me, I said what I had to say and I'm done. It's the FOIA is not the FOIA is from Nick's appeal. It's not Gypsy's new papers. It was from Nick's appeal. Yeah. Numerous times apparently, according to the things in the FOIA. Because she used it on herself downstairs in multiple videos. Because again, people just want to talk about things for clicks and views. I could do all that shit. I could be sensationalized. I could sit here and do all this stuff and have my views go through the roof and let my chat be the Wild West and let people be hateful and hurtful to people, but I'd rather not do that personally. If it means I'm going to stay in low views, whatever. I'd rather have engagement that was thought provoking and not, cringy. That's just me. I'm not wasting my time with other creators and their bullshit. And that's like the biggest kicker to me is like why other creators feel the need to jump on this weird train. If you don't like somebody's content, just don't watch it. It's not hard. That's why I don't watch these people's content to know anything that they're saying. I have no idea. I don't care. But you should go live. Go live. It's simple. If I don't like somebody, I don't watch them. I'm not wasting my time. I have other things I'd rather do. I have TV shows I want to catch up on. Look, I'm going to be 43 here in another 2 weeks. I don't have time for that nonsense. Look, I'm already over half the median of a woman's life expectancy, and I'm not going to spend hours a day watching shit I don't like so that I can spend hours a day discussing it. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'm not going to, whatever floats your boat, but I'm not spending 2 to 4 hours a day or more watching shit that I don't like to then talk about shit that I don't like. It just does to me it just seems like a giant waste of time. Shut up. Yes. Oh, tomorrow? Yeah. I used to go live every night, and then I realized I don't have enough to talk about every night now. When I was doing more stuff and whatever, I had more stuff to talk about or drama, and I'm just done with it. I'm done with the drama. I'm done with all of it. I've said what I have to say on situations, and I'm done. I had my crash out live. I'm good. I had my crash out live. I hadn't had one of those in a while, and I had it, and I'm done. I'm over it. Because what else am I supposed to say? After that, it's redundant. You point out where they're assholes. You point out where they've done something that is abhorrent. You point out that they're assholes of people, and then you move on. I'm not saying I haven't been guilty of it in the past, but I'm over it now. I'm not doing it no more. It's boring. I'll just live my boring, mundane life watching my TV shows. I missed out on them for a long time. So I'm just going to spend my time watching my TV shows or doing whatever hobbies make me happy. Come on here, talk to you guys, talk to you lovely people, and do my thing. I have enough real life crap going on. I don't need online drama bullshit. I'm over it. I'm sitting here constantly worried about this, that, or whatever in my life. I ain't got time for all that nonsense. Now you just tell them to go to therapy. I don't even have that much positive stuff going on for me right now. Right now, there's just a lot of shitty things going on that are taking up a lot of my time, unfortunately, which is another reason. Like, I'm stressed over real life shit right now. I don't care about creators and the imagined beef they have with me. You get a violation for telling them to go to therapy? That's so stupid. Honestly, like, if I don't know what's going on with TikTok. I know that the April 5th deadline is coming. I know Trump said something about he's going to extend it again, supposedly. Part of me just wishes it would just go. I've been putting all of my content on Instagram and YouTube. Every time I upload a video, I put it on all three platforms. Sometimes YouTube gets extra content, and some of the times I can't put everything on Instagram because I think it's got like a 3 minute cap. At least mine does. Mine has a 3 minute cap. Yeah, you can't use the word gross. Gross is harassment. Yeah, right now I have enough problems. I spent today crying. I'm good. I have enough issues. Right, I agree. Like, there's time, like, I've used it's given me violations for the weirdest things. And I'm just like, why are you violating my comment? Like, it don't even make sense. There's so many words that they just flag automatically that it's like, what are you doing? And in the meantime, you can see people say the worst things in comments and it doesn't get flagged. But you use a word that they don't like the context of it and you'll get a violation. But they could say horrible, horrible things in comments. Some of the comments I've read are absolutely just horrific. But that's okay. Absolutely. I got it. I had 3 comments violated in like 20 minutes. And 2 of them didn't even make sense. And the other one was like, really? Like, I've seen so much worse. And like 2 of them didn't make any sense. Like, they were very mundane. There was no trigger words in there. It was like like a random thing. Like, it was like the dumbest, most generic comment, and it got a violation. And I'm like, I think that one ended up getting, I think I appealed it and it came back because I know I won one of the appeals on them. But I get up for strange things. Strange things. It's gotten a lot worse since it came back, I noticed. Things are a lot more whatever. I had a video, I'm not even kidding. I put up a video of my birds today and I looked and it said under review. When I refreshed it, it had views, but like for some reason I've never seen that before. I've never seen that. And it said it was under review and I'm like, it's a video of a bird. Like, what are you reviewing exactly? God, I had to actually people always ask me, why do you have so many Facebook accounts? Because the one that I used the longest, I was getting 30-day bans. And because I had Facebook in my phone, like the different accounts that I had, and like I guess it like realized that I had other accounts and it would ban me on those accounts too. Usually it only banned me on the one, and the other one was pretty safe from bans. But I was getting 30-day bans because I would go into groups and lose my noodle on people. So I ended up actually like kind of just abandoning that profile and making a new one. I'd had that profile for like 10 years easy. I had my first Facebook account was back when Facebook started, and I used it until I think like right around when I got out of college. And then I started one during that time to play games like Cityville and Mafia Wars. And I had thousands of people on there. And then I went through, I deleted them all and kept that as my quote unquote normal account. Then I had another gaming profile, which I closed that one, I don't know, like a year after I got it, I think. And then this one I made as a backup. And then I just kept it as my normal one. The other 2 accounts are still there. I basically placeholder them for like all my photos and stuff because I have different photos on each of the accounts, and I basically keep it for photo content. I don't use them. I don't get on them to like use them in any way, shape, or form. I just keep them as basically photo storage. I only really use the one, and I don't even use Facebook a whole lot anymore. I've been using it a little bit more recently, but like for a really long time, I wasn't even using it. I've been more on I've been on Threads more than anything. Oh, I would get in jail for just about everything. I would go balls to the wall on people. I would constantly get violations. Yeah. My first one, the one that I had in the beginning, it had a lot of his family on it, my family on it, and one thing I've realized about social media is don't put your family on social media because I don't agree with 90% of either of our families. The second one had some family on it, like the ones who were kind of normal. But then I had to change it because of the stuff going on. So my account that I have now has like a couple of cousins on it that I don't really even talk to, but it's got a couple cousins on it. That's about it. I don't have anybody else on it. I don't have like his mom or any of his family. Um, that's weird. I'm excited to catch up on Yellow Jackets today. I have to stay up till 3 o'clock, so I'll go live and then I'll watch my show, catch up there, watch some Hell's Kitchen. I'm tired, but I got to get him up at 3, and there's no point in me laying down. I mean, I could lay down right now and get up at 3, but I don't want to do that. I'll just get him up, get him out the door, and then go to bed. That's weird. I've never watched a live on TV, so I don't know. I don't think I've ever really watched a live on YouTube, to be honest. For the most part, I think I watched one during the thing, during the shooting in my town. I watched one for a hot minute on YouTube, but I was on my phone, so I was at the gym. Roxy and Sissy are passed out in the bed over here. They're laying like yin and yang in the bed. It's cute. I'm hungry, but I've run out of most of my snacks. I got some chips in there and some popcorn. I got like half a candy bar. I do have some Starburst. I got a few nerd gummies over here, but I don't know, man. I don't eat like a whole lot of snacks. I've been eating a lot of my crackers and cheese more than anything. I haven't eaten it's the crackers and cheese and walnuts. I've been doing that a lot lately. Mm-hmm. Yep. Nobody said I was perfect. I take my diabetic medication. Believe it or not, with that stuff and my diabetic medication, I was at 6.9 last time. That diabetic is well now it's 6.5. It was 7. It was 7. Now it's 6.5. But yeah, it just depends. My biggest problem is pop, and I don't drink a whole lot of pop anymore. I still drink it, but not like I was. I drink a lot more water. So, and when I like, if I eat like okay, I have these. I'll eat like 8 of them. I don't sit there and eat a whole bag or whatever. Like I'll have a couple pieces here and there. If I have Starburst, I'll have like 4. Now the other day I was trying to eat up a bag of Starburst that were old, so I had more than what I normally do, and then I gave him some to try to get rid of them. Oh yeah, carbs for sure. I'm horrible with carbs. I told my doctor to begin with. I was like, I don't even eat that much sugar. He's like, what do you eat? I was like, potatoes and bread. He was like, that is your problem. I'm like, oh well, I don't know what to tell you. My glucose levels, like I said, they weren't even that bad. 6.9 is actually pretty fucking good for a diabetic. I don't think it's 6.9 now. I probably would guess it to be 7.3 maybe. I'll find out. I got to go to the doctor at some point in the near relevant future. I was doing so good that they told me I didn't have to come back for 6 months. I haven't had a 6 months checkup in like ever. I have to go usually every 3 months, and I was doing so good they told me I could wait 6 months. Look, I don't know what you want from me. I can't afford to sit here and eat a bunch of vegetables or a bunch of protein. Both of those are really expensive. Unfortunately, the food that I have available that I can afford is garbage. I mean, what snacks? I mean, on occasion, I will eat carrots. I ate carrots yesterday. I had carrots as a snack. But people are like, oh, diabetics, they need to eat all this great stuff. That's great. I can't afford all that great stuff. I can't afford a bunch of proteins. I can't afford a bunch of vegetables. That's not realistic right now. Right now I have a lot of garbage. I eat we've been eating good dinners. We've been eating, I've been air frying meat, having a vegetable and a starch. And our dinner quality has gotten significantly better. It's not perfect, but it's gotten a lot better than what it was. The shit food is cheaper, 1,000%, 1,000%. I think about it. If you go to a store, and they have like the cups of fruit for like $5, or you can get a cheeseburger for $1. Look at any of the go to Wendy's. It's a $10 salad or a $5 biggie bag. That's just the reality, unfortunately, is that the stuff that is good for you is entirely too expensive. Oh yeah, I do everything in moderation. I don't eat a lot of whatever. First of all, I don't eat a lot in general, which is another part of my problem. Is diabetics are supposed to eat small meals throughout the day. I don't eat like that. I have a couple of snacks at night. I maybe might eat a lunch maybe once or twice a week. I eat dinner. Like the other day, I had two pieces of fish and some cheese potatoes. I don't eat a lot. I'm fat because of the medication I'm on. I'm fat because I'm pretty sedentary, and I'm fat because when I do eat, it's garbage food. Most of it has to do with my medication. Look up Resperdal. I'll tell you everything you need to know. Resperdal will make you gain weight like nobody's business. That is a huge weight gainer drug. I'm on thyroid medication. You know what happens when you have a thyroid problem? I gained 100 pounds in 6 months when my thyroid went off. Like I said, my sugar at 6.9, I was thrilled. I cried, dude. I was thrilled at 6.9. I've had it up to 9 before. Like, I was happy at 6.9. I feel like I was accomplished. If mine's in the low sevens, considering what I've done the past 6 months, I'll be happy. I got entirely too much drinking pop the last 4 or 5 months. I was drinking entirely too much pop. I was eating more candy and snack foods than I should have. So I know that right now my sugar can't my A1C can't be that great. I'm aware. I've been past month I've been working on trying to fix it. Eating better dinners, not eating as much fast food, drinking less pop, snacks in moderation. Well, yeah, I'm diabetic, of course mine's going to run higher. I can't be like, oh yeah, mine's 4.5. I'm diabetic. It's going to be higher in general. My doctor always told me as long as you stay around a 7, you're good. He always told me 7 is a great maintenance point. So as long as I'm, under 7.5, I feel like I'm doing good. At least I'm not 9 anymore, or 8.3, or any of the other ones I used to be. I'll at least take that. How are you diabetic if your A1C is so much lower? That doesn't make any sense. Diabetic, in order to be diabetic, it has to be 6.5 or higher. Literally, that's the diagnostic point at 6.5. Which it used to be fucking 7, which is so frustrating. It literally 6.5 used to be pre-diabetic and 7 was diabetic, and now apparently 6.5 is diabetic, which is stupid. I think that's just being unrealistic at this point in age. Now it used to be 125 was considered a good fasting blood, and now it's 99. 99. Like, I'm sorry, we can't all eat like birds. That's not a thing. No, 6.5 is a diagnostic across the board. It doesn't matter. That's the diagnostic criteria. You don't get it. I mean, you're either diabetic or you ain't. It's not going to matter if whoever's fucking diagnosing you. It's 6.5. Otherwise, you're not diabetic. You can be pre-diabetic, but diabetic is 6.5. I just went through this with somebody else. Mine reversed, like I said, mine went down to 6.9, which at the time was under 7. I don't know when the fuck they decided to change it to 6.5, but it's been since long after I got diagnosed. Yeah, it used to be 125. Anything under 125 was considered good. And now it's 99, which is, I'm sorry, that is ridiculous. Not in today's age where everything is preservative and sugar coated. I mean, at that point, you're drinking water and eating iceberg lettuce, or you have really, really damn good metabolism and you're working out all day, every day. And like, I'm sorry, that's just not feasible for most people. Well, then you're technically not you've reversed it. You can get out of type 2 diabetes. If you get it low enough, you can get out of type 2. Yeah, see, I can't afford Trulicity. I don't know if you were paying attention at the beginning of this live, but I can't afford that bougie shit. Again, that's the privilege I'm talking about. I can't afford that stuff. I'm on Actos. I'm on a pill called Actos. That's what I can afford. And it's so frustrating to me that there are people on Mounjaro and all those Ozempic that are using it and getting it for however price guide so that they can lose weight. Meanwhile, I was actually prescribed one of those pills and I can't get it because it's $500 a month. And there was a shortage because people are getting it to lose weight. I was on metformin for, I don't know, like 15 years, and it just stopped working. After like 12 years, it stopped working. I had been maxed out on the dose since I got on it. Okay, so your A1C is low because of your medication. I'm sure if I could get some bougie ass medication, mine would be 100% better too, but I can't get those cards on Medicare. Did you know that? You can't get you can pay little to no cost or as little as $25. Read the back of those cards. It is not applicable to Medicaid or Medicare. So I'm screwed on those because that's we can get it for you for $25. We can get it for you for $0. Oh, you have Medicare? Sorry, they doesn't work with those. I can't get those. Hey, it says it right on the back of those damn cards. Cannot use with Medicaid or Medicare, which I don't understand because Medicare is standard normal insurance. Standard normal insurance. There's zero reason, considering I pay for my insurance. I pay for my insurance every month. And you're telling me I can't use a discount card because I pay for my insurance. I don't have Medicaid. It covered because Medicaid covers everybody's medications. I don't have Medicaid. And more than likely, if you were using one of those cards, it's because Medicaid will pay for that in general. You don't need a card for that kind of stuff if you have Medicaid. Medicaid will pay for it regardless. I know because when I was on all that shit, not that shit, but different, more expensive shit, Medicaid paid for all of it. I didn't have any copays. When my mom had insane amounts of stuff, Medicaid paid for it. When Ember was on a $500 prescription that she lost 2 days after she got it, Medicaid paid for that. For some reason, those cards, which are meant to help people, if you pay for your Medicare, you still can't use the damn things. Exactly. Through your insurance. My insurance, $500. It's not feasible. It's just not. Yeah, the good RX cards. That's why I go to my pharmacy gives me great cash prices, thank God. But there's some things that they just can't compete with. They can't give me a great cash price on a $500 medication. They just can't. I've been prior authed out my ass. They don't care. Doesn't matter. You're off work. I've been prior auth to the fucking moon and back. It is all prior auth does is say, yeah, they need it. Yeah, I'm telling you they need it. Why are you arguing with me? I've been prior auth up, down, left, right. It doesn't change your copay. Being prior auth has never changed my copay. Ever. I still have ridiculous copays, even with being prior auth. I've been on the same insurance plan for years. Like I said, I don't change it because it's free. I pay for my Medicare. I don't pay for my prescription plan. Now, if I change prescription plans, maybe it would cover it better. But that's not something I'm willing to do. I'm not willing to pay $30, $40, $50 a month to get right now, like for instance, right now my medications are about $20 a month ish. I'm guesstimating here. I get the 90-day prescription. I get the 90-day plans. The 90-day plans. Okay, so let's do it this way. I get 90-day plans. Everything together is probably $60 divided by 3 months. So it's about $20 a month. Why would I pay $30 for insurance and copays? Because there's still a copay. It's just more minimalized. Why would I pay $30 a month plus copays when I can pay $0 on my prescription plan and $20 cash price? It just makes more sense. I'm not going to pay $30 a month for prescription plan and and copays when I can spend it for $20. That's stupid. I used to pay $35 a month for my prescriptions. I still had a higher deductible. It wasn't a $0 deductible. It was barely. Matter of fact, when I lost my shit on my insurance company, my deductible hasn't changed. Even with me paying $30 a month, it was still the same deductible as me paying $0. I guess the only difference is the actual pills themselves were higher in cost, but my deductible stayed the same. And think about it, okay? For instance, okay, because I'm bad at math. Give me 1 second. So if I pay $20 a month in cash copays times 12 months, that's $240. My deductible is $475. They want me to pay $475 deductible before they start giving me reasonable prices on my medication when I pay $240 not using insurance for the whole year, for instance, with what I'm on right now. Ozempic floors me. The fact that all these people are on Ozempic to lose weight when people, if you made it more accessible to the actual diabetics that need it and the actual people who need the medication, that would be so much better. But because there's a bunch of rich people who want to lose weight without doing the actual work, I get so agitated when I'm on TikTok and I see all these people. I've lost 100 pounds. No, your medicine lost you 100 pounds. What did you do to lose that weight? Did you eat 1,200 calories every day? Did you walk 4 miles every day? Did you drink nothing but water every day? No, you took a $500 pill and you're patting yourself on the back. Now there's some people who do who do the work, or they do, they do that and they do whatever. But I've seen so many people that get on there and they take the easy way out and they applaud themselves for losing 80 to 100 pounds when they didn't do the dieting, they didn't do the exercise. All they got to do was have the privilege of paying for a prescription that most of us can't pay for, so that they could lose weight in an easy way. Yeah, back when they tried to give me Ozempic, there was a shortage on top of a $500 copay. They are taking it away from diabetics. If there is a shortage, if I go as a diabetic to go get a medication and there is a shortage, meanwhile, some celebrity is taking it and they've lost a ton of weight, they're taking it away from diabetics. That is a fact. There is a shortage because people with too much money and that are too lazy to actually do the work get these medications and they take it away from the people who actually need them. Jesus, Lynn. That's awful. Look, I'm too fucking lazy to do it. I'm not walking 4 miles a day. That's why I look like this. Let's be real. I'm not eating 1,200 calories a day. I can't afford good food to do that with. I'm not walking 4 miles a day. There's no way my knees could ever handle that. There's no way, man. My knees are fucked. There ain't no way I'm walking 4 miles a day in Kentucky where everything's uphill. I plan on getting back to the gym better, which helps. I've lost 17 pounds. I've lost 17 pounds. I know. I got on the scale. All my weight's coming back right here, though. It's very frustrating. Why would a GLP-1 treat ADHD? I don't know how GLP-1s work, but I didn't think they had anything to do with ADHD. I mean, but there is off-label prescriptions, so I mean, possibly. Right, but you know what they'll tell you? If you go to a doctor, what you walk at work is not exercise. My mom used to walk easily 10 miles a day being a waitress. And they were like, "No, what you walk at work, because it's walking and stopping and walking and stopping and walking and stopping. That is not long. That is not a 30-minute walk to get your heart rate up. Walking 6 to 8 miles at work is not the same as walking out your door and walking 6 to 8 miles. Because you don't get enough you don't get your heart flowing enough. So yeah, you can walk all those, get all those steps, great, perfect, but that's not going to lose weight. Well, then I'm saying, well, okay, maybe you do, but most people when they walk a lot at work are not walking for 30 minutes at a time all day. They're usually working. They're not just walking around. And if you're not walking at least, 3.4 to 4 miles an hour, it doesn't even count. Which has to be like a brisk walk for 30 minutes. That's what they want you to do. Well, then you are the exception to the rule. I have a gym membership and I've not been doing very well with it because it's been cold. And by the time he gets home, it's like, well, not now, but up until a couple of weeks ago, because it was still in the 20s a couple of weeks ago. By the time he gets home, I get him in bed so I can spend some semblance of time with him. By the time he does that, it's, 15 to 25 degrees. It's dark. I don't want to drive in the dark in 15-degree weather. So I haven't been doing it the way I should because he takes the car every day. So unfortunately, it's just the way it is. I mean, now that the weather's getting better and I can go to the gym at, 10:40 at night and it's, 58 degrees. At that point, it's more on me than it is on weather. I'm hopefully planning on getting back into it better. I preferred when I would take him to work and go in at 5 o'clock in the morning. And but he's been taking the car to work to save gas. So I don't have that 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd already be out. I'd be taking him to work and I'd just go there and whatever. But when you're sitting in the warmth of your house and you have to go start your car up and then you have to drive there in a cold car, because I don't live very far, so the car doesn't even barely warm up by the time I get there. Go in, do everything, and then leave the warm gym, get back into your car, freeze the whole way home. Like it was more trouble than it was worth. But now that the weather's getting better, you know, maybe I can maybe I can do it better. Maybe I can do it better. Maybe I can't. I don't know. We'll have to see. But when I started my gym membership, it was like August. So it was like really nice weather. So I had August, September, October, November that I did really well. I was going like every day or every other day. And then as December hit, I started tapering off. January and February, nope. I would go there basically to tan and come home, because I'd get there, tan, be warm enough to not care, and come home. I did work out like one time. Also, I've been really paranoid since December about doing anything with my arm, because my arm is acting up again. I just went to the chiropractor today and my shoulder was apparently raised higher than it should be. I'm scared to do any type of upper body workout because of my arm, because I think that's what did it to begin with. I think I did too much gym in the beginning. And I think I tore a rotator cuff. And I did the clavicle or the AT, whatever the fuck that one thing was. I don't remember. But I'm scared that if I do another upper body workout, I'm going to screw up my shoulder again. And it was, for 2 months, it was awful. It was horrible pain. And it's starting to hurt again. Not like it was, but it's starting to hurt again. And I don't want to do something that's going to screw it up. So could I do my legs? Yes. So I want to get back to doing a leg regimen to give me more stamina, to give me more muscle in my legs. And I'm kind of wanting to do like the exercise bike to try to get up more stamina, because the other day when Kira got out and I had to go uphill 2 streets, straight uphill 2 streets, I damn near died, dude. I'm not even kidding. I ended up falling in a driveway and just crying. I was so done. My legs gave out completely. I need better stamina. I need better muscle control. That was the whole reason I was going to the gym to begin with. And I was doing really good. And now I've fallen off. And now hopefully with the weather, getting better, I should be able to start going a couple times a week. And then once I start going a couple times a week, I'm going to fall back into wanting to go all the time. Right now, it's so damn cold. The cold makes my freaking bones hurt. It makes me whatever. And I don't want to go out in the cold. And it is what it is. Once it gets more comfortable, hopefully I will do better. It's on me. It's things that I've chosen. I've chosen the fact that it's too cold for me to go outside. If I wanted to really be good and do good at it, I would brave the cold. I would brave the dark. I would brave all of that and stick to a regimen and do better for myself. I have chosen letting the cold beat me. I have to take responsibility for not going. I'm hoping to do better. I don't know if I will. We'll see. I'm hoping that's the best I can do. I can attempt and do better and see what I can do. I have been, like I said, I have been terrified to do a chest regimen, chest and arm regimen, because of my arm. But I would like to get back to doing my legs. The other day when I did do my legs, it hurt for like 3 days afterwards. I did the same routine that I used to do. And it hurt to walk for like 2 days. Not even kidding. So obviously I'm out of shape again. And I'd like to fix it. And I'm hoping to fix it. But we'll have to see where it goes. I would love to have somebody to go to the gym with. I had somebody say, oh yeah, I really want to get a gym membership. I was like, all right, cool. Why don't you get one? We can make a time that we can both go to the gym and kind of like text each other during or whatever, and they never did it. I would love to be able to, go to the gym with somebody. I don't have a lot of friends in here. Like I have a gym membership where I can bring somebody, but the only person that I really know, I know two people. They both live, a half hour away from me, and getting them there at the same time I am is hard. Yeah, I could get them there. I have the gym membership. They can come in. I have a double membership, but getting them there's the issue. So I would love to be able to go to the gym and have a person to, talk to and hold me accountable. So I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about somebody else, actually. I was talking about somebody else. They were talking about, they were really thinking about doing it, and they were going to go like that next week or whatever, and then they never did. And that's the problem. When you do want to have somebody to go, it's, trying to find a time that's suitable for both people. If one person wants to work out at 5 in the morning and one wants to work out at 5 in the afternoon, well, that's not going to work. It's hard, having somebody to go at the same time as you. And then life gets in the way. Kids get in the way, jobs get in the way, spouses get in the way. See, I'm gonna want. I'm gonna. My husband says that it's best for me to go after he goes to bed, because he comes home, we spend time together. He's like, you need to start going to the gym after 10. Well, Nancy, one thing that we can do is, if we like coincide a day to like both go to the park, we can video call while we're at the parks or wherever you walk. Um, be like, hey, let's go for a walk, and you get to your place, I get to mine, and we can video call while we're walking. It's kind of the same thing. I got no problem doing that if you ever wanted to do that. I've tried to do that with people, but life gets in the way. Timing gets in the way. You know, I have a weird schedule to where like you said, it's hard to get to a gym until 10 o'clock at night. Most people don't want to go at 10 o'clock at night. I've went at 1 in the morning. I've went at 5 in the morning. I've went at all hours. In the summer, I'll go at 1 in the morning when it's nice out or whatever, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, okay, I have nothing else better to do. Let's go to the gym. I don't go to. There's no bars here. We don't have bars in my town. It's not dry. Well, there's one bar I guess downtown, but it's a bar and grill type thing. I mean, you can go get a drink at like Applebee's or whatnot, but like bar, there's one about half an hour from me that I think it's either a bar or a bar and grill type thing. I'm not really sure, but like we don't have just like bars. Like where I used to live, there was bars everywhere. Yeah, see, that's what he said, because like I would go there like 3 times now. I've went to go tan, and the gym is so packed that I get there and I leave. I get there and I leave. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We would Front Street in Monroe that you could bar crawl. There, I mean, there was whole events to bar crawl because there's 6 bars on Front Street. I know because my mom worked at all of them. But there ain't bars here. Most people just get their beer and sit on their porch and yell at cars. I'm not a drinker. I've never really, if I can count the times a year that I drink something, and when I do, it's not very much. I'm not a drinking fan. I don't really get anything out of drinking. No, you don't need to go in there. Thank you. Go on. I don't get nothing out of drinking. So When I used to go to bars, it was to do karaoke, and I'd be the designated driver. My husband would have a couple of beers, whoever we were with, they'd do their thing, and I was a designated driver. Alcohol's never really done it for me. I come from a long line of alcoholics on like both sides of my family. Yeah, we don't. Last time I went to a bar was before I left Michigan, obviously. And I can't even remember. I want to say it was a couple years before that, even. So it's been almost 10 years. Now we'll just go for the karaoke. Oh, Clam Diggers is such a shithole. They have karaoke though. Clam Digger is way. Clam Digger, the one time that I was there, like I. Okay, so during the day. Okay, I was going to Clam Digger from the time I was like 12 outside during the daytime because they would have karaoke outside in the daytime. The only time that I ever went to Clam Digger during bar hours, I was 16, and my mom, this was the only time this ever happened. My mom, my dad, my brother, I think both my brothers, and me went to Clam Digger, and it turned over into bar time, when kids have to get out at 9 o'clock. And I stayed till closing time. And that is the time that I ended up almost put my mom through the through the front window of the car. I wanted to leave. I did not want to be there. Clam Diggers is a shithole. And I was worried, I'm fucking 16, 17 years old in a bar. Granted, I was with both my parents. The one time we ever, ever, ever went somewhere with my dad and my brothers, it was the only time ever we ever went out with my dad and my brothers. And I didn't want to be there. And finally, my mom decides, closing time, my brother loads her into the car. And my mom was an absolute asshole the whole way home. And I wasn't driving the way she wanted. And she slapped me in the back of the head. And I hit the brakes, and she hit the dash. I said, "Do that again, I'll put you through the fucking window." Yeah, Clam Diggers it's a shithole. I always went to Mugsy's, which is more of a bar and grill. When I used to go to Nortel before it burned down, I watched Nortel burn on Facebook. I went to Nortel, the Nortel bar, because it had karaoke. So I went to the Nortel bar, or I went to Mugsy's. Those were the only bars I really went to. Back in the day, I went to Steve's a few times. I grew up in Steve's. My uncle used to kind of own it with the owner. And I grew up in Steve's from the time I was, I don't even know, under 10 probably. Because, we knew the bar. My uncle actually owned Whistle Stop. My uncle owned Whistle Stop back when it first came out. My mom owned Frenchtown. And then there was all the different, there was, Pete's Garage, Pete's, Eat More, the You and I. There was a bunch of, then there was a bunch of them that came in when I stopped going. A couple of the places left Front Street, and then a couple more came in. There was like the Martini 5, whatever the hell that one was called. Never went there. But there was a bunch of, bars back in the day that I would basically go in with my mom or whatever. My mom worked at Willie's too. That was a bar before it turned into some preppy. They bought, I can't even remember what the name of it was. I wonder what the name. I can't remember the name of it. North Side or something. I don't even think I could find it on here. North Side. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. It turned into North Side Bar and Grill after Willie got sick. That's crazy. I can't believe I actually knew that. I wish you could have too. I'm sure I've been there. I went there. I Monroe was a weird place in the 90s, and they would let kids in as long as it was before 9. So like I've been in all the bars even before I was 21. But then 9 o'clock would come, they'd kick you out. Ask your sister-in-law. I'm sure she'd know. Ask her what it is. I can tell you if I've ever been there. Sure, I'm sure I have. Unless it's some new one of the newfangled ones. I wonder if I know your sister-in-law. Stranger things have happened. I don't talk to my family. Let's try to Google it. Monroe, Michigan bar. Oh, there's also, God, what, Irma's? That place was a shithole. Why is it? It's showing. Oh, that's the one. The 129 Lounge. That's what I was trying to say. The Martini, whatever. Is it the? Hold on. Oh, there's Beaks Bar and Grill. I don't know. I put in Monroe, Michigan bar owned by Heinz, and it came up with the 129 Lounge. David Heinz. I wonder if I know them. Heinz does not sound familiar. The 129 Lounge, I've never been there. That was one of the ones that I just said. That was one of the ones that came in. It took something over. The place it was in, I've been in, but I've never been to the 129 Lounge. Let me see what it took over. 129 East Front Street. Oh, that's why they call it the 129. Interesting. All right, let's look at the map. Okay, it's on Front Street. Next to Lemoore Printing. That don't make sense. East Front Street. All right, it's across from Mancino's. Mancino's is on Front Street? Jesus Christ. Michigan. That's not East Front Street. What the fuck? There's Frenchie's. God, all these places, I have no idea. I'm looking at all these names, and I can't think of where any of them is. Well, it's gotta be in the bar crawl, because I remember all of the ones in the bar crawl, and I know it's over there with them. It's not showing that it's over there with them, but I know it is. What road is this? That's what help. All right, hold on. It's at East Macomb. it took over Pete's. I wonder if it took over Pete's. I feel like it may have took over Pete's. Eat more. Possibly. People also search for all of these bars. The point. I wish it had a yeah, okay, and it's also by Senor Cactus. So it's gotta be down there because I know Senor Cactus is down there. Okay, here's another. Apparently it's by someplace called the Dive Bar. Okay, hold on. Okay, so it's on this side of the river on Front Street. There's Monroe Street, Front Street. On this side, I think it took over Eatmore. Well, Eatmore looks like it was right there. Oh, Mancino's must have moved. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, you've been gone for a hot minute. Yeah, I haven't been back to Monroe since 2021, so I have no idea. And it looked different when I was there. From when last time I was there was January 2019 when I left, and then I went June, July. I went in July, early July of 21. I haven't been back since. I've eaten a handful of them. I haven't bought any in a long time. I used to have fucking big size family bags of them. I got them on sale. How many cemeteries? You've heard my cemetery thing before, right? When I got manic, I was about 21. Well, I got to where I was scared of cemeteries. I wouldn't go near them after something happened at a cemetery. My mom got out of the car and was screaming for her ex-husband. He didn't have a grave marker. And I had a panic attack in the cemetery, and I wouldn't go in a cemetery for like ever. And like 2021, I went to the historical society and the library and everything, and I got the name of every place where there was a gravestone. Like every place there was a gravestone. And I looked them, I found all of them but one. I still technically found it, but I couldn't see it. But like actual like cemeteries, there's Roselawn, St. Joe's, and Woodland. Those are the big three. And then there's some other little scattered tiny ones along the way. But the ones where everybody is buried is essentially Roselawn or St. Joe's. Woodland, that's where General Custer is. There's two different sides to Woodland. And there is a newer side. But basically everybody gets buried in Roselawn or St. Joe's. And then there's some like like my family is actually buried in Maybes. They're all my mom's dad's side, which turns out isn't her dad. Anyway, so it doesn't matter, but they were all in Maybes. So St. Joe's is on like Monroe's thoroughfare. It's really big. And then Roselawn is south of Monroe. It's south of it. It's in LaSalle, technically. So if it was Monroe, it was St. Joe's. And if it was LaSalle, Monroe, it was Roselawn. St. Joe's if I remember correctly, has graves, can have gravestones. Roselawn has no gravestones. They're all the ones in the ground. There's like no gravestones in Roselawn. Uniformly, it's all the little placards that are in the ground. Good night, Audra. St. Joe's actually has gravestones. And then if you go to the back, there's this whole place where the nuns are buried, and there's a big thing. Oh my God, it's so scary. I wish I would have never went back there. Detroit Beach, yeah. Newport. Didn't take long to get to the cemetery. It was a small cemetery. Oh no, there's a couple small ones. There's actually, I know, okay, there is a couple small ones, and there is a small one out in Newport. There is a small one out in Newport. I can't remember. There was two of them on North Dixie, which is right where Detroit Beach and Newport is. There's two small ones on North Dixie. Now that you bring it up, I didn't think people were still buried there though. Usually, if you're buried in the two big ones. But yeah, there is two on North Dixie that I'm aware of. I miss Detroit Beach, the restaurant. You can't get food like that down here. I miss Detroit Beach, and I miss La Fiesta. I haven't had good Mexican in 5 years. I haven't had good Mexican since I went up to Michigan. I hate the Mexican down here. North Dixie, you should go. Yeah, I'm trying to think of where St. Charles. Hold on, let's see if I can find it. Hold on. Cemeteries, Monroe, Michigan. Woodland, St. Joe's, King. Doty is not a cemetery. There's one gravestone. Zion Lutheran, McIntyre Cemetery, St. Mary's of the IHM Sisters. That's what St. Joe's. There's the Potter, which is outside of the college. Our college has a Potter Cemetery in it. Trinity Lutheran, Prince of Peace, Wrath. A lot of these are really, really small ones. Holy Ghost. Yeah, they're still like, okay, hold on. They're not going to have all of them. They have two historical cemeteries, which is Memorial Place, and then there's one where the Kentucky War with the Kentucky soldiers, which is interesting. And there's no longer active burials. And there's the historic Woodland Cemetery, which is where Custer family is. I mean, Custer himself might not be there, but his family is. It just says cemeteries and just has the two more cemeteries links. Yeah, they just have the two historic ones. That's stupid. Oh, 19 cemeteries in Monroe, Michigan. Okay, here's the whole list. Battlefield of Frenchtown Monument. Copper Knoll. See, I've been to some of these, and some of them, they didn't actually have the names. Doty is not really a cemetery. Gothamane. Okay, some of these are in Monroe County, not Monroe City. A lot of these are not in, they're down in like Temperance and things like that. Because Saint Antoine. Anyway, that's down south. Oh, where's Old Burial Ground? What's that? Oh, that's the one next to St. Joe's. Yeah, that's the ones next to St. Joe's. They found that on accident. There's also another one. They were digging on North Custer to put in some houses. It was like a whole poltergeist thing. They were digging to build like a new subdivision, and they found a bunch of graves there. It was wild. I don't think there's a name on it here. Yeah, most of these are not. It says cemeteries in Monroe, Michigan, but they mean Monroe County, not Monroe City. San Antoine is that is not. It's in Monroe County. Oh no, that I can't say it. Antoine is the one that I'm talking about. That was the weird poltergeist thing right here. I'm looking at it. It was right across. And what's weird is right across the street where they were digging up for the new housing development, and they found the bodies, which is apparently the one I'm looking at right here. Miss America 1988 was from Monroe, and her brother drove off into River Raisin right across the street. Okay, so if these are actually the ones in Monroe, then I've been to most of these and I just don't remember what they are. Now I'm going to click them all. Oh, that's McIntyre, which they say is Copper Knoll. Doty doesn't have a cemetery yet. Oh yeah, Doty Cemetery. Oh, Doty Cemetery is off of South Custer. That I know exactly where it is. My bad. There is a grave out on Doty Road. Doty Cemetery is this tiny little thing by the library. Gethmain. That's also known as Sandy Creek. So there's one on Sandy Creek too. That's out there, by the way. It's Sandy Creek. Let's see, King, also known as Sackett Cemetery. I can't think of where that one is, but I'm sure I've been there. Leonard Family. Oh yeah, that's like a family one. Like it's literally just like grass. Lutheran Home. Lutheran Home was right behind my grandmother's house. Like there was a wall. It was behind the old food town, and you could literally look over the wall, and the cemetery is right in her backyard. I remember that one. Nobody's buried there anymore. Memorial Place. That's the Kentucky Soldiers. They all have so many different names, bro. Monroe Township. I've been there. I've seen that sign. I just can't think of where it is. St. Joe's. St. Matthew's Cemetery. Prince of Peace. Okay. St. Paul's. Lutherans. Okay, there's a cemetery there. Trinity Lutheran. I can't think of where Trinity Lutheran is. Zion Lutheran. I'm sure I've been to all of these back in my manic days, but there was a bunch of really weird ones that were out in the middle of nowhere that were not still on a registry. They were old cemeteries, and I went to all of those. There's one off of 275, exit 8 on 275. It's on like an off ramp. That was one of the hardest ones to find, dude. I drove by there like so many times trying to find it. So many times. Some of the ones I'm talking about that's on North Dixie aren't on here. They're not even on here. I don't know if it's because they were older or what, but there's more than these 19 cemeteries, and I know that for a fact because I've been to more than 19. Yeah, it's on exit 8, Wall Carlton Road. When you're going north on 275, if you take the off going north, there is a cemetery on exit 8, and it is so hard to see. I don't even know if I actually ever ended up finding it. I think I did once, but that was one of the hardest ones to find because of the weird place it was in. That's not on here. Well, that's not in Monroe. That's in Wall Carlton, up by Wall Carlton, which is in Monroe City. But some of these I don't think are. Some of these are not in Monroe City, anyways. I mean, Pottersfield is out by the college, and that's technically Raisinville. So, hold on, let me click it real quick. Monroe Pottersfield, yeah. That's out by that's technically in Raisinville. So is Doty. Doty's technically in Raisinville. So they say that these are all Monroe, and they're not. No, Michigan Memorial is, well, according to this, Michigan Memorial, well, Memorial Place is the Kentucky Soldiers one. No, exit 8 is Wall Carlton Road. Flat Rock is exit 9. 8 is Wall Carlton Road. I liked exit 8. I went on there a lot. Exit 9 was Flat Rock, if I remember correctly. I had a boyfriend who lived in Flat Rock. Maybe there isn't an exit 9. Maybe you had it. Well, no, I think you can't get to Flat Rock from 275, can you? Maybe you can. It's been so long. Yeah, Flat Rock 9 or 11 on 275, I think. But yeah, I know 8 is Will Carlton. That I do know. So many things you can look up. Hold on. Michigan exits 275. They start at 13. Are you kidding me? Exit 13 is Lower Huron Metro Park, which can also technically be in the Flat Rock area. So yeah, it would be 11. You take Gibraltar to Telegraph to Will Carlton, and then you get on to 75 by the auto auction place, Mayhem. Okay, wait. Gibraltar to Telegraph to Will Carlton. Will Carlton doesn't go to 75. It goes to 275. 75 is the whole way that way. 275 is the whole way that way. Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, New Boston is 11. New Boston is 11. I couldn't remember that. New Boston's 11. Flat Rock would have to be 9 then. Because 8's Will Carlton and 11's New Boston. So I would say Flat Rock would have to be. They're starting. Hold on, wait. Show more. Hold on. So stupid. They all exits along 275. Hold on. They started at 13. I wanted to know underneath 13. Okay, so 2 is Telegraph, 5 is Carlton, 8 is Will Carlton's Flat Rock. Okay. 11 is South Huron Road, which is also Flat Rock. 13 is New Boston, 15 then goes in, that's, Will Carlton is technically in Taylor, technically. And then 15 is Eureka Road, which is Taylor, which is also Detroit Metro. And then 17 is I-94, Chicago, Detroit, and the other portion of the airport. So yeah, 11 and 8 are technically both Flat Rock. I used to get off on 11, which is also New Boston, apparently. And then New Boston is 13 for sure. Yeah. I spent a lot of time on 275. A lot. A lot. A lot. It was one of the things that you should just get on and drive. I would take 275 until it ended, where it turned into I-6. Whatever. When you get up in the 14 mile, when you get up in like Farmington Hills and all that, I would get off after exit like 14, it turns into like I-6 or something. And then it goes crazy. And it's wild though. If you take 275 and you get off on exit like 12, which is Novi, if you get off on 12 mile or 8 mile, actually if you do 8 mile Farmington Hills, if you get off at 8 mile and you start off in the Farmington Hills area and you take 8 mile from Farmington Hills to Detroit's 8 mile, you can literally watch it just disintegrate from Farmington Hills that has money and Detroit that is like not money. 275, no access to 94 unless you're in Taylor. Yeah. Yeah, we would do, we'd have to get on it. You can either get on 94 on Telegraph or at the 275, 17 exchange on a 94 going to Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor, I used to take 50. M50. I would take M50 into Ypsi, where my grandfather, who wasn't my grandfather, he was murdered in Ypsi. But I would take 50 to Ypsi and then drive through that way. I didn't like 94. I'd also take 23. Take 23 to Ann Arbor. Yeah. 23 was how I know. If I took an expressway, it was 23. I didn't like 94 or 96. 94, 90, well, no, I almost never took 96. 94 on rare occasion. But yeah, Ann Arbor, I would take 23. Yeah. 23 you could get on. I'd get on down there in Bloomfield Hills. No. Bloomfield Hills is north. My bad. Began with a B and I can't think of what it is. God, that's so freaking annoying. I used to know all this stuff and now I don't know it. It's not Bloomfield Hills. Bloomfield Hills is north. Exits on 23. It began with a B, I know that. Exits on I-23 in Michigan. It began with a B. Oh yeah, go into Milan. Oh yeah, Plank Road to go to Milan. All right, Stearns, kind of Ottawa Lake, Blissfield. I would get on. I would go down to exit 5, and you could take Blissfield, Adrian, and that's another way to get to 23 to get to Dundee, because I lived right down Dundee, right by Dundee, and on 50. Oh, the lake, Milan. Yeah, I think they do. They did. I don't know if they closed it down. But yeah, I would go in Adrian and Blissfield. Then you go to Dundee, Summerfield, Ida West, Lloyd. Okay, so then, yeah, so okay, M50 hits 23. I'm not remembering any of this. So exit 17, so M50, you can get on 23 at M50, and then I would take it to Ann Arbor. Milan, Carpenter, Willis, truck, US 12. I love to take US 12. That's where Eloise is, the cemetery. Ypsi was 37A. Ann Arbor was 37B. And 39 for Geddes Road. And 41 for Plymouth Road. Damn. Ann Arbor had quite a few of them. I like Michigan Avenue. I used to drive Michigan Avenue. I would take it from Telegraph and just drive out, like Westland and all those. We got lost in Westland once, and we called my sister. We called my brother-in-law, panicking. It's like, what are you doing out there? That's not a good area. No shit, and we're also lost. I don't know what to tell you. We're lost. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, Michigan Avenue. You can take that out. Michigan and I think 50 actually hits 12 way out there, if I remember correctly. They go like this. I think 50 hits 12. Way out there though. But yeah, the Eloise Asylum is on 12 in Inkster. Well, by Inkster. Inkster's bad. That's a scary place. Oh yeah, Adrian. Yeah. Yeah, out in Adrian. Yep. Because you can take 50 out to Adrian, and I think they do cross in Adrian. God, it's so bad. I 5 years and my brain goes to mush. 5 years, my brain just forgot everything. Dude, I found out more about Adrian or about Eloise. There's a thing on Destination Exploration or whatever with Josh Gates, and they went to Eloise. And I always thought that the cemetery was across the street. Apparently, it's not. It's somewhere they show where, but and it's huge. I always thought it was across the street from the one remaining building, but that's apparently not even where I was. I wasn't even looking in the right place. Apparently, and the cemetery is like way far away, and I did not know that. Yes, I know the haunted house thing. I always wanted to go there. There's movies about it. Yep, it had its own thing. Oh, that was a long time ago. Everything got shut down in the 80s. They slowly got rid of all the buildings. There's only one building standing now. There was a whole complex, like it was its own little city. They showed the overlay in this Destination Truth or Expedition, whatever which one it was. They showed the whole like it was a whole compound. I was like, damn, like I knew there was a couple of buildings. They had, I mean, it was wild. I mean, this thing was like encompassing. I knew that was going to happen. The dogs just put them all to sleep. They're all sleeping. They're all knocked out. They're like, it's too late. It's 11:25. What are you doing? They're all passed out. I've driven by the tire on 94. 94 is where a lot of accidents happen on 94. I like the bridge on 94. I like driving under the bridge on 94. We used to call it the eyeball bridge. Don't ask. I have no idea. But when you would take Telegraph and where Telegraph would go under 94, the bridge, I always liked that. I had to pass that all the time to go to college because I went to college in Southgate on 9 Mile. The tire used to be a Ferris wheel. I think I knew that. But yeah, I used to go to college on 9 Mile, but it was in Southgate, not Detroit. It was in a nice area. Yeah, I have no idea. We just called it the eyeball bridge. Because it had like these, like, it looked like eyeballs. I don't know. That's what my sister in law called it, was the eyeball bridge. Because usually I'd take Telegraph there, drive down 9 Mile, and then I would take 75 home. Which 75, and you know this, 75, if you are not paying attention, you can end up in like a very bad area because there will be on ramps that you don't realize are on ramps. Like I got on John R once and had no idea. I was just because there's all that you're doing 80 and there's all these, off lanes and you don't, if you're not paying attention. I thought I was in one and I ended up getting off on John R at like midnight, lost. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not going to survive this. Got back on 75, thank God. You go up on Gratiot, people will walk into your car. We took Gratiot on the way up to where my friend used to live. And I can't think of the name of that place either. It's one of those shitty places. They will just walk in front of your car. They will walk through your car. They do not care. Lincoln Park was the first time I would see KKK meetings. My one of my ex-boyfriends. When I say ex-boyfriends, by the way, the one in Flat Rock and the one I'm talking about, I dated them, one for 6 months and one for a month. 17 was a wild year. Anyway, he used to like live in Lincoln Park, and he drove me by these places, and you could see like all these like skinheads with their Nazi flags and shit. It was wild. I haven't been to Belle Isle, I don't think. I've been on 4th Street though. Oh yeah, it was wild. It was wild. I can't think of where she lived, but it was up in the, I can't even message her to ask where it was, but now I can't remember where it was. It was up in like the 23, 24 mile area, I think. You had to take Gratiot up there. And I think it was somewhere, I remember driving around in the 23, 24 mile area, but I can't think of, it began with an R. R towns in Michigan. Rochester Hills, Royal Oak. Maybe I began with an R. I could have swore. Redford. No, that wasn't it. Shit. I've been to the other aisle. Grosse Ile. It's spelled Isle, kind of. It's I-L-E. I've been to Grosse Ile a lot. Wood? Maybe we get not Wyandotte. Maybe it was a W. Hold on. Maybe it was a W. Warren. Warren. We used to go to Warren. I think. I have to ask her now. It's 11 o'clock. I haven't talked to her in a year. Let's go there. I haven't talked to her in like a year. We have that type of relationship. It's okay. Hey, weird question. When we used to come up to your house where you lived with your cousin, what fucking city was that? I don't know when she'll see it, but good night. Yeah, Downriver's bad. Downriver's pretty racist. Yeah, I don't know when she'll see that, but I think it was Warren. Maybe not. Warren sounds familiar for something. That's the problem. Well, if I looked up where Warren was on a map, it probably would have answered my question. Yeah, use a cold washcloth. A cold washcloth will help. Message me later. I'm finishing Yellow Jackets when I get off here. Did you finish episode 5? Did you finish it before you leave? Did you finish episode 5? Did you finish 5? I'm going to do 6 and 7 tonight, but did you finish 5? You almost finished 5? 5 pissed me off. 4 pissed me off, but 5 really pissed me off. 20 minutes. Finish it before you go to bed. Put like a wet washcloth right here or right here. Don't cover your eyes though. You won't be able to see the TV. Finish it. You only got 20 minutes left. I want to talk to you about this episode. Thank you. Message me when you're done. Tell me how mad you are. I'm mad. Tell me how mad you are. I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm like, now I see why people are mad about this. I'm mad. Message me when you get done. I'll probably be off live by then. And then I'm going to go watch 6 and 7 so I can watch 8 in real time. Yay. We'll actually be on schedule at that point. Okay. Go watch it and message me when you're done. We've been watching Yellow Jackets together. And we're always like one episode. I'm always like one episode ahead of her. Yeah, there's not a lot of colored people in Monroe. There wasn't anyways. And in the 90s there was race riots at the high school. But there was never a lot. See, but what's really weird is as much as there was not a lot of people of color in Monroe, when I moved down here, a whole nother ball game because it's almost exclusively white where I live. Because 3 of them are recording and like 6 of them are sleeping. And some are just really, really quiet watchers. I know it's so agitating. You're like, well, I'm just a silent. Don't be would you just fucking talk? Please, for the love of God, will you just talk? Just talk, seriously. What I want to know is how there's still 23 people in here when we are exclusively talking about Monroe. Hi, Jocelyn, how are you? See, look, there's a person. I want to know how 22 people sat here while we talked exclusively about Michigan. Like, we're just literally just sitting here talking about Michigan. Like, nobody's probably been to Michigan. Hi, KJ. Look at this. People are popping out of the woodwork. We were sitting here exclusively talking about Michigan that some people have probably never even been to. And they just sat here and listened to it all. Oh, you've been there, but you haven't lived there? Look, Michigan from here over and here up, great place. Okay. Thumb included. So, thumb included here and here is great. It is just literally this section here, the section we're talking about, that sucks. It's all flat and ugly and really, really populated. So, this whole section sucks. This isn't bad. This isn't bad. And this isn't bad. It's just right here that sucks. You could talk about how to make toothpicks and I'd listen. I love you. That is so nice. Well, if they're getting information on you, Lord knows they're getting information on me. I've given out all sorts of information this episode. I'm in episode now. I've talked about all this shit before. I ain't worried about it. I've always been extremely open about my life. Comfort creator is a good term. I just learned something. I just learned something. It's amazing what you can learn when you Google stuff on the internet. Well, yeah, nobody's ever going to see eye to eye on everything. But see, I guess that's where the issue lies. Is just because you don't see eye to eye does not mean you have to freaking argue, scream, and put people down over it. I mean, there's a lot of things I know I have, crazy views on, and I'm aware of that. But it's simple. If you don't like a couple of the things I talk about, that doesn't mean you have to put everything else some kind of a way. It's called take what you like and leave the rest behind. It's okay. I know what you're talking about. I'm good. Look, I speak fluent typo. People that message me, they'll like fix their typos. And I'm like, I don't even know why you do that because I already know what you're saying, anyways. I realized eye to ion was eye to eye on. If I had to read it twice, but yeah, I understood. I understood. Oh, I do nothing but voice text. They call it Ryan speak because it doesn't make any sense. I mumble a lot when I use my voice to chat. I almost exclusively voice to chat. I'm not typing all that out. People will be like, people have never messaged me. They're like, how do you type so fast? I don't. Now, to be fair, now I will type. I'll type some, I'm a fast typer. I can type on my phone without even looking at it. But I almost exclusively use voice to chat, voice to text, whatever. Hi. It's just easier. Yeah, I can type stupid fast, but like I'll hit somebody with like a wall of text like this long, and they'll be like, "How did you do that so quick?" Voice to text. Like I'll type this much. I don't care. Like I'll type this much, but if it's like that long, I'm voice chatting that shit. I'm good. And you can just decipher it. And if you can't understand it, I guess you don't need to hear about it. Oh, I've had people be petty as hell. Oh my god, you don't know grammar and you don't know how to punctuate and you just don't sound very smart. If you're watching, you know I'm talking about you. I voice to chat. Blame Google's AI. I don't know what to tell you. I am not wasting my time texting a bunch of shit to you. So I voice chat it, and then it half the time it don't make no damn sense. People will be so stupid and petty about that shit. Oh my god, you don't know how to punctuate. Your grammar sucks. My grammar does suck. I always fail on grammar. I'm horrible on grammar, but I can't help what it punctuates or if it spells something wrong or puts the wrong there in. I don't care, dude. I'm getting my point across. If you are that dumb that you can't realize what I'm saying, that is a you problem and not a me problem. I ain't wasting my time. If you want to go read a perfectly scripted book, go do that. I ain't it. I'm entirely too lazy to do all that nonsense. Anybody else like tying knots with like you take this and hold on. How did I do? I've been doing it this entire time. There we go. And make a knot. Um, yeah, I trust me. I've read my text. I sound like I have mashed potatoes for brains. Like not even kidding. I've read my texts. I know exactly how they sound. They're saying whatever I say because I just I just talk into it like whatever, and I don't proofread it. I just say what I gotta do and I hit send, and people be like, "What did you just say?" I'll go back and I'll read it, and I'll be like, "I have no idea. I don't know what that was supposed to say. It's not what I said. It's not what I meant. Don't ask me what it was supposed to say because I don't know." By the time I've gotten to that point, I forgot what I was talking about. I ain't proofreading it. This ain't an English paper, and I ain't being graded. I don't know what to tell you. Figure it out or don't. I don't care. I ain't even. I got bigger things to do with my day. Figure it out. Oh yeah, I know. You gotta love when people the biggest thing somebody says to you is you use the wrong there. Okay. You don't know how to punctuate. Okay. That's what you got for my argument. Okay. I see where we are with this conversation, and you are not winning it. Oh yeah, my my texts are awful sometimes. Exactly. Tell it to whoever. I don't use Siri. Literally when I do it, I just I literally just hit this little button. Wait, hold on. This button here. And I start talking and then I just send it off just like this. I hit the button and there you go. That's all I'm doing. You hear the beep and I start talking. I, I you want to proofread it? You proofread it. I ain't proofreading it. Yeah, I have an iPhone. I don't use Siri though. I turned Siri on to check it out once. I think it's still on my phone, like activated, but I don't use it. I think it's weird. I don't know. Let's see. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Siri. Yeah, it showed up. The little bubble, it showed up. It didn't say anything though, if you notice. Hey Siri.
Uh-huh.
Are you there? You're listening? Shit. I don't know what I just clicked. I respect your privacy and only wait, what? I respect your privacy and only listen. Sorry, I don't understand. This is why I don't like Siri. That doesn't sound good. I thought you talked, bro. It just kept giving me these weird things. I can't get Siri to work correctly. I just can't. Remember that one time that I was saying something and my husband's Siri went off and said something while I was talking? That was so creepy. That has never happened in the history of ever. And I was talking, and all of a sudden, his Siri from across the room and his like tablet said something, and I thought I had a friggin' ghost, man. I had to go back and play it. It was so creepy. I can't get her to work correctly. I did change her voice though, but as you can tell, she's not much of a talker. Crap. And now I can't remember how to do it. I've been doing it this whole entire time, and all of a sudden I can't figure out how to do it. I said that last time and I figured it out. Oh, look, I figured it out. Ha 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 ha. I got it. So I have to get him up at 3. It is almost 12. So I need to watch 2 episodes. I need to watch episodes 6 and 7. That's only an hour and a half. And then I could finish, and then I could watch like a Hell's Kitchen. No, I don't know what I'm doing. And I can't figure out what I'm doing half the time. I'm just doing this, pulling them together like that. And then undoing them. Just, I mean, maybe you do stuff like that. I have no idea. You just put them together like this. Push each one through. It does. They're super easy, but then I keep forgetting what I'm doing. You just literally, hold on. Put one inside of the other. And then pull the other one back through the other one. It makes the knot. And then, boop. I did. I created my own fidget toy. You know, the other fidget toy I like is these. I'll sit here and roll it up. My ghost face hoodie is the best for that. It's got nice, flat, big ones. And like I can roll it up until it's like this big. It's wild. But yeah, I just do this and I'll just go like this and wrap it around and wrap it around. That's why I love hoodies. Oh no, I love the strings. Hold on. I love the strings. And I'll just do this. This one's harder. My ghost face hoodie is better. But I just wrap it around and wrap it around and wrap it around. My ghost face hoodie is amazing to do that with. This one's apparently not. I have some couple hoodies off of Temu that they don't have any strings, and I didn't realize it till I went to play with the strings, and it didn't have any. I have like two or three hoodies that have no strings. A fidget sensory ADHD backpack. Oh dear God. I'm really horrible because like while I like fidget toys, I don't like anybody else playing with them. I can't stand like the clicking or the motion or anything. My husband's a huge fidgeter and it like drives me insane. You know what else I hate? I hate hoodies that don't have pockets. I have like two hoodies, one or two hoodies that don't have pockets. Oh, that's worse. And I'll go to put my phone in the pocket and then it drops to the floor because there's no pocket. I have to be so careful when I wear either one of those hoodies because I'll go to put it in the hoodie and let go of it, and there's no pocket for it to grab into, and then it will fall down. Luckily, I usually remember before I drop the phone. Yes, I need the pocket. The pocket is one of the best portions. I can keep a disposable and my phone on me at all times. I can't put this in there though; it'll flip over. I mixed two flavors and it's kind of weird. Okay, it's a lot weird. It's not bad, it's just weird. I got like 4 bottles of vape juice right here. Yeah, I got like 4 bottles open right now. Because I was using them in my damn dripper, but I got so mad at this dripper I had to quit using it. I was like, I gotta quit for right now. I went and got this thing for like super, super cheap. Like super cheap. And I've been using this one. None of my leggings have pockets. None of my sweatpants have pockets. None of my pants have pockets, which is super frustrating, which is why I wear hoodies everywhere. Because then I have a pocket. What, this one? It's a big box mod. This is just a dripper. So my other one's got a tank, which I have the filter for the tank in there. The tank's like this big. This is like one of those little tiny whatever mods. This isn't a big mod. This is a very tiny mod. This is a pod mod. It's a pod mod. It's like a step above a starter one, but I was like, I need something little. This is the big dog. You got to like wick this yourself. There's no filter. There's no coil in it. You have to like wick it yourself. I use really dark liquid, and you have to do that yourself. I'm never going to get this back on. Oh, I did. Amazing. These are just nice to just shove in your pocket, though. I'm so upset. These are almost impossible to find. I found them on like one website. I just ordered some. These particular ones are super hard to find. And if you can find them, they're stupidly priced. I managed to find a website where they weren't bad. And I bought like 7 of them. But this particular brand is hard to find. And I don't like 99% of disposables because they got that icy feeling. These ones don't feel icy at all. Yeah, no, I've always been fine. My husband's been vaping since it came out. And, he's fine. So I started vaping like 2 years ago. People are like, so how long did you smoke? I didn't. I got into vaping, which is weird. Most people get into vaping when they are trying to quit smoking. I've tried Geek Bars. I bought 4 of them because I had one that was all right. So I bought 4 and they are nasty. And I am out money and I am pissed because Geek Bars are not cheap. I bought 4 of them and I've opened 2 or 3 of them and they were all nasty as shit. And I am pissed. And they still all have a portion of ice to them. I hate ice. Hate it. I don't like that mentholy, minty feel. I don't like it. These don't do that. They're the only vapes I've ever had that don't do that. And they're so hard to find now. And I am so frustrated. Yeah, there's some stores you can try them before you buy them, thank God. But none of the ones that I go to. I went to one that there was trying to buy, but it was like an hour away from me. Breeze vapes. I wish they had all try to buy because that's the only way, like, because you don't know what the hell you're getting or if it tastes like shit or whatever. I feel like there should always be a try to buy option. I told you. I told you. But I swear, it's called Binary 6K. I thought they tried shooting him at the end of 4. I asked you if they gave him the penalty, and you told me they gave him the penalty, but they hadn't done it yet. I thought they shot him at the end of 4, and then they cut his ankles at the end of 5. Did they shoot him and do his ankles in 5? Have you seen him do the ankles yet? Maybe I'm on 6. Okay. Yeah. Now, do you see why I'm mad? Do you see why I'm mad now? Yeah. That's why I'm mad. Like, he gave this whole great speech, and they were just like, yeah, fuck you. Travis is lucky he didn't get it right to the melon. I thought they got him. I really did. I thought they got him. And you could see, like, in the tree, like, it was going to be, like, right here. Yeah. Like I said, I'm pissed. And I wonder if that's why people get pissed with, with this season. I was so mad, dude. I was like, what? I thought they got him. I really thought they got him. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, so I'm getting ready to watch 6 and 7 when I get off here. And then I'll be caught up. Yeah, so episode 5 can get fucked. Episode 4 like upset me. Episode 5 can get fucked. I feel bad because he's like begging him not to do it, and the 3 scenes later, he's like, "Can you just do it?" I'm like, "Yes." 5 pissed me off. I was pissed. That's why I'm like, did you watch it? 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 It's so weird because Shauna, when she's younger, and Shauna, when she's older, don't even seem like the same person. Like at all. Like there has to be like they don't even see. You know what's really weird? I don't know if you've paid attention, but did you notice that young Natalie and old Natalie have the same voice? Like I was watching to see if it was dubbed. They have the same exact voice. They say the same words. They have the same voice. It is wild how much they sound alike. And actually Shauna and Shauna sound alike, but not as much as Natalie and Natalie sound alike. They sound like the exact same person. I was like, I literally was watching to see if it was dubbed. Yeah, but Shauna and Shauna do not seem like the same people, like at all. At all, at all. I just want to know where the hell Melissa came from. Like, I don't even remember seeing her on the plane. Seriously, like, I don't even remember seeing her on the plane. like two seasons, we did not see this girl. And now all of a sudden, here she comes and like, where did you come from, ma'am? Oh, that would be interesting. That'd be interesting. You know what? You know, some of the continuity error. Well, I don't know if it's so much a continuity error, but some of the things that don't make any sense is like, where did they get all those white robes? Everything burned down. Where did they get all the candles? Everything burned down. How did they learn how to build all those teepees? How did they get all the little wood to make the teepees? How did they make all the fences? How did they randomly come across all these animals all of a sudden? Like, I have issues. I have a lot of issues. I want to know where they all got white robes. It bothers me. It actually bothers me a lot. I feel like we're just supposed to okay, here's another one. So in the beginning, where did okay, when they cut off his leg, where did the axe come from? They just got out of a plane crash and she pulls an axe out of where? Or like okay, so and then the house. Where did the house come from? The house is convenient. Where did it come from? And we're never going to know unless they go back. What I would love to see is a season where they explain. I want the backstory. Why would there be an axe on the plane? I want a backstory. I want the island. I want the wilderness before it was the wilderness. I need backstory. I'm a huge backstory fan. Like Cabin in the Woods. I want to know about all the ghoulies. 13 Ghosts. There was supposed to be a freaking show about that where it showed all the ghosts and like how they got to be ghosts. I want a backstory. I want to know who's drawing those things on the trees. I want to know who built that cabin. I want to know all of it. Like that's what I want. I want a backstory. Shit, I don't even care if they just give me an episode. Just finish off season 3 with giving me a backstory. Just give me a backstory. I need the backstory. I want to know who's drawing all those people. Did you notice the picture that Travis did with the spikies? The people in the spikies? That's like from episode 1, the people with the spikies. Yes! I want flashes like Lost. That's what I want. He drew the spikies. I still want to know what that's about and who ended up in the pit because I couldn't tell who was in the pit in the first episode. Now I want to go back to the first episode and see if I recognize the face of the person in the pit. Also a weird error. So she goes and buries the baby out in the middle of nowhere in the snow. And then they had the baby now suddenly underneath the cross. So she went and got the baby from the snow that she didn't want anybody to know about. Then she puts him in the woods with the other 2 bodies. And then she digs him up again and moves him again. This dead baby has been buried 3 times. How is he not like juice by now? The baby had been dead for like, what, 6 months? Yeah. The baby's been dead for like 6 months. You're telling me that thing's still like a person? No. That's not how decomp works. This is the stuff that goes through my head while I'm watching this. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Where's Crystal? I want to know where Crystal is. Because 1 minute she's splatted and the next minute she's gone. I want to know where Crystal is. I think Crystal's wandering around somewhere. Maybe Crystal was the one who set the fire. I don't know, but she's somewhere. I don't think she's dead. She's somewhere. See, I'm being really vague in case anybody's watching it. In case anybody's watching it, I'm trying to be super vague. Yeah, where is she? She was there and then she's gone. I don't know. Right. But now I want to know where she is. And are we actually going to okay, so when Van was tripping in her little dream, she saw the fire start by an ember on the ground. But you could tell it was all outside when it started burning. It was outside, but in her dream, it was from a ember on the floor. I don't know. I need answers though. I need to know who burnt it down. I need to know where Crystal is. I want to know where the hell Melissa came from. I need backstory. I need a lot of backstory. But I don't understand why people said they don't like season 3. I think season 3 is good. I'm just pissed off about episode 5. Episode 5 made me mad. Speaking of, I'm gonna go watch 6 and 7 now. So thanks, Social, if you're still here, thank you. You go put a cold rag on your eyes. Everybody who's been hanging out, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Think about clicking that link up there and joining a membership. I'd appreciate it. Anybody who wants to join a membership, that would be super grateful. And if you want a tarot reading, get a hold of me on TikTok. And other than that, I will see y'all. So peace out.